I was muted. Good thing I noticed before we got into it. Alright, let me make sure. Go ahead and close those up. Hey, Peter, how's it going? How's it going? Let me see if I can get my chat thing set up real quick because I still have to fix this stuff. Let's see, chat integration. Let's see. Oh goodness, it's been a hot minute since I had to fix this. Um, what's that? I want it on all. Let me see if it'll actually go through. Okay, it's going through everything. Yeah, yeah, Skiff. Let's see. The question is how it's a web capture. I know it is, and I need to change it to be the other one for Streamlabs. Because that's what it's currently going through. Everything's logged in. Platforms, Twitch, YouTube. I should probably sign into that account as well. That's signed in. Twitch is signed in. How do I do that again? I want to say it was in settings. Platforms. YouTube bot, Kickbot, Twitch bot. That's not it. overlay. Ah, there it is. I found it. Paste. Okay. Let me send a test message, see if that'll go through on the screen. Okay, it went through Twitch, so you can at least see it there. Where is it at? It's right here. Should be visible, but it doesn't seem to be going through for some reason. Where is it and why is it not working? Um, docs, multi-stream, chat. Custom browser docs. I think I might see the problem. Okay. Ba. See if that goes. That is not for some reason. Okay, hold on. See overlay, save and copy overlay URL. Just what I want. Um, Let me make sure the WebSocket is still. Okay, that doesn't seem to quite be working, so let me try to set it back up through Caster Labs, because that should all still be connected and everything. And that'll be just a lot faster to do. Caster. Are you wearing programmer socks? I inhaled again Febreze and I'm tripping balls. Oh, you inhaled Febreze? That's not good. Don't do that. Let's see, widgets, chat. See it. Copy link. T caster. No, not in that one. B. I. Close. No capture. Why are none of these working properly? Oh my goodness, this is frustrating. I just want it to work. Uh, There's browser, and let me, I guess, try browser capture. What's the Streamlabs, StreamerBot one? Settings, general, overlay, coffee. Damn it. Paste. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. I guess it's just gonna be behind me. Everything's visible. I can't see it properly right now, so I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to check it every so often and have it off to the side, which, I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's just frustrating. Uh, that'll have to do. Alrighty. I can see chat at least, and it'll go across the screen. I'm just gonna have to fix a lot of this later. Oh my goodness. The Windows update absolutely murdered my stuff. Anyways,
Lately, I've been finding a lot of mystery in the most unexpected of places.
we are
Scrat
doing
is a
this
terraforming alien. Gary is
Mort
God. The
lore
trumpet guy from
information
Shrek 2 is a
tonight.
cult leader. You know,
To
the
see
drill.
how this,
So imagine
see what
my
the heck
surprise
Mort
when I
even
discover
actually
something
is.
that's
The
actually up front
Mort
with
is
its
a creature of
peculiarity.
some
This has been
unknown
handed to
origin,
me on
I
a silver
swear.
platter, and I couldn't be more grateful to myself. The Madagascar franchise is composed of 4
Oh
films.
yeah, I should probably make sure you can actually hear things. Window capture properties. Yeah, it's capture audio. Let me find it. The capture 6, make sure it's actually showing.
A few TV
Okay, yep,
shows,
we're
and
good.
a litany of shorts.
Alright, you
Throughout
guys
them all,
should be
we
able to
bear witness
hear
characters
it.
of all
Let me
sorts,
kind of get
including
an
the most
idea
deeply
of it in
disturbing,
comparison to mine.
genetically anomalous
Okay,
piece of nefarious, uncanny terror known to cinema. He tries to act cute and cuddly, but he does it maliciously. He knows people see him for what he is,
Time
and
for
yet he
peek.
behaves childlike anyways, just to freak them out. His name is Death, for he is Mort the
His
Lemur.
name is
I was
Death.
browsing the Madagascar wiki, as any sane person should do on a regular basis. I couldn't help but notice that there are a number of references in the TV shows that imply him to be wrong in every categorical sense. Thankfully, because of this, I finally have something solid to work with.
Alrighty. The Mrs. Puff. Oh goodness. Mrs. Puff's a whole thing too. I've seen some of the theory stuff on that.
Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and Mordecai is certainly not, unless he were to reap my consciousness from my body, which he cannot
From
do.
my
I'm
body.
immunized to him by nature of the fourth wall. Before we establish all he's done, I need to get the first big theory.
The only
I
thing
have out of
saving
the
us
way,
from Mort is
that
the fourth
being
wall.
timeline of the
That's
canon.
it.
This is going to get very confusing very quickly because of the nature of the Penguins of Madagascar TV series, the likes of which a timeline placement is dubiously considered amongst even the writers themselves. They claim that people shouldn't care about its placement unless they are top-tier animation geeks with way too much time on their hands. Well, I'm neither. I'm an incredibly dedicated incredibly serious, fictional theoretician, and I'm paid to do this, brushing aside minor flashbacks like the intros to Madagascar 2 and the Penguins spin-off movie, or the short films which take place all over. The timeline essentially looks like this. All Hail King Julian is a prequel, followed by Madagascar the First. The Penguins of Madagascar Nickelodeon show is an outlier. Typically, the rest of the timeline would go Madagascar the Second, Madagascar the Third, and then the Penguins movie. But the Penguins of Madagascar TV show takes place in the zoo, with King Julian and friends there, meaning at least after film 1. The question then becomes, does it take place long after everything, including the 4th movie, or does it take place between the Madagascar films somehow, or in a parallel universe variant of where films 2 or 3 should be? It's tricky because all could work. If option number 1 is the truth, then it means the Penguins quit their spy jobs, and the lemurs quit the circus, and in the far, far future they all exist back in the zoo. If it's somehow between films 2 and 3 or 1 and 2, then it would mean the penguins and lemurs shunned the zoo gang and temporarily returned without them. The final choice is that they left permanently and stranded them either on Madagascar or mainland Africa, depending on when is more likely. The creators seem mixed on which of these is the truth, but for now, we focus on the characters. These 3 options, however, will come in handy.
Hey, Barry, how's it going? We're reacting to Mort.
Or a parallel reality, though. Now that
the Mort creature, the eldritch being known as Mort.
Spin-off, we move on to the questions surrounding Mort. It is overwhelming, I assure you. First of all, Mort, he's
all
not
of
a
it
child.
was confirmed in show. Wild.
He may act like a child. He may sound like a child, but he is at
I definitely didn't tell anyone about the thigh highs. Who did you tell, Barry? That was not my fault.
All Hail King Julian is weird. In fact, so weird that the crazy is just
I'm screwed.
Mort is a
It's not even my fault, but I'm screwed anyways.
But the inside proves him to be far, far more sinister. He is a pot-belly pig, but that's not all. He's also part bear, part starfish, and no joke, part spider. He also has trace elements in his genome of sand, cacti, copper, and sawdust, and it doesn't end there. He has
how does he
marriage history. He has not 1, not 2, but 11.
You've accidentally bumped the replay buffer. How does he have sawdust in his DNA? Somebody explain that one, please.
Ex-wives, and all of them are dead. He is also invulnerable and has superior strength.
King Louis the fifth over here, is that what he is?
Julian's feet. He's a yes man that eats glue, and he's such a quizzical little rat. Finally, it's revealed that whatever he is immortal and has the terrifying ability to suck the souls out of similar species, absorbing them into his mind and creating a split personality. Again, a lot to work with. With that said, clearly this will take some time. I recently stretched 5 seconds of trumpet playing during Shrek 2 into a 10-minute depth analysis. This time we have something solid. There is more Mort, there will be more content.
I hit the wrong thing.
This is going to be more of a documentary than a theory, be warned.
Definitely didn't tell a cute and funny British Reddit.
Hypothesis. I am aware that I will have to watch.
Did you tell frickin' Pippi?
Of Madagascar and
you little shit.
Julian. I foresee that this endeavor could span at least a couple of years.
She's never gonna let me live that down.
Thus, solving
damn it.
will likely take a grand total of 15 videos, adding up to 4 hours. If I can condense it properly, of course. Based on my current upload schedule, every third
it's not even my fault.
Until spring 2022 will be a Mort analysis.
It was. Thank you.
Should I do this? I need an empty 230 square foot room to organize my thoughts because a single notepad clearly won't cut it, and I'll need to invest in 8 cork boards and around 250 meters of twine.
8
the
cake
immediate
boards.
true mystery
Wild.
is, what can I do with this now? From what I understand, there have been a couple of videos discussing Mort and a couple of Reddit posts. I refuse to watch or read them for fear of a skewed conclusion, and I don't know how serious or non-serious those discussions are to begin with. With that said, I can organize a battle plan for this miraculous hit piece. This is part 1, which means part 2 and 3 will also share the theme of highlighting evidence, with mini theories along the way. I will spend the rest of this video looking at Mort's oddities within the Madagascar.
How's the volume levels, by the way? Let me know if any of them are too low.
Penguins, finally topping up the first trilogy with video 3, His Strangeness in the Prequel Series. The second trilogy, videos 4, 5, and 6, would then need to begin cross-connecting the clues and formulating more major theories from the smaller ones. I'll probably spend one video on his Julian obsession, one video
just
on his
a
wives,
maybe,
and
Barry.
one video on his soul-sucking immortal and
Albert.
impossible genome. Videos 7, 8, and 9, I have a more strict plan for.
How's
They
it
are going to be composed of past theories I am integrating in. 10, 11, and 12, I am going to connect them. I'll spend one video connecting Mort's mysteries to Over the Hedge, one connecting them to my Dubois analysis, and one connecting them to a final mystery film, or straight up creating a grand unifying DreamWorks theory from what I've found. Which leaves us with 13, 14, and 15.
It is
I'm
currently
still debating whether or
28
not I'll
videos
actually
and
need the
still
extra hour
ongoing.
or extra 3 videos, but we'll
Wild.
cross that bridge when we get there. There's also the matter of how this will perform in the YouTube algorithm. Now that you're all prepared for what's to come, we begin with the evidence you'll all
Hey,
be
Barry's
familiar
got a
with.
20
Mort.
stream
Guess our
streak.
films.
Heck yeah,
In the
dude.
first movie,
Appreciate it.
Mort is a small lemur obsessed with King Julian, and
Much
it's sort of the
appreciated.
opposite of King Julian's actual second-in-command, Maurice. Mort is used as a test to see how the New York animals will
Maurice.
react to lemurs, and
Maurice
is
is
generally
funny. I like
hated by
Maurice.
his peers. He plays a perfectly fine but intentionally annoying role in film 1. In the sequel, he clings to the plane and behaves oddly. He first parodies the Twilight Zone and then goes flying thousands of feet into the Mozambique Channel. He stubbornly
should've
survives
died.
and then is chased by a shark all the way to Central Africa, where he ascends a volcano and nearly falls in. The third film follows him joining the gang in the circus, where he, again, plays a lesser role, but he does end up shooting Dubois with a tranquilizer gun. He's dumb at times, rational at others, and sort of all over the map. This is what makes him questionable. Primarily, what the films are good for is proving one thing: Mort is not mortal. Our dear friend, the French Death, is indestructible. He looks
Sorry,
malicious
Mort
at
to
first,
me.
mumbling with the plane because he's
It does. I forgot about that.
probably
Mort
one of
does
his
relate
alternate
to death.
personalities, more on that later. He rips it apart and causes the engines to fail, crashing the plane soon after. When he presumably flips back
Barry's-
to the dumb
Barry
old
Arns at
Mort
25
persona,
stream
falls
streak,
off,
he will-
sails thousands of feet into
he
the
will
Indian Ocean and
rise.
doesn't
I
die.
did not
He is
say that
pursued by a
anywhere.
juvenile great white shark and evades it, though it desperately chases him on land as well.
Ooh, lie.
Mort doesn't die, which is the first crucial chunk to the theory that from this point can only evolve. With that said, it can only get more insane from here, so should I? He's such an enigma that while writing this, I was convulsing like a deranged artichoke. Speaking of the Soviet Union, it won't be long before I integrate Nana into this dissertation. Again, it'll probably be in the latter half of this
my
journey, but
goodness.
everyone make sure you're caught up with my other DreamWorks theories, just in case. For now, though, subscribe so I know to make more of this, and comment Mort's odd moments from the shows and give me a little head start. Uploads may be scarcer a tiny bit here. My confused immune system has been attacking me for 2.5 years now.
All
It's gotten
hail Mort,
really
our
agitated the
almighty
past month, and it's made
destroyer.
me too anemic and unfocused to think to my fullest, but when I get my hemoglobin out of its 7 gram per deciliter hole, I assure you, I will start critically thinking a bit better. And we'll be able to fully expose Mort as the war criminal he is. This was an establishment video laying it all out on the
May
table,
have lied
solving
or
the
may not
timeline and
have.
looking
You
at his film
definitely lied.
appearances. It
You
only goes up
definitely
from
lied,
here.
Albert.
Until my next video in the coming weeks, I am the theorizer.
By the way, the later videos have music the theorizer composes himself. Wild. Mort's such an
yes,
anomaly. He
I'm
caused a
really
man
doing
to
this.
make his
Everyone
own
viewing
music
this, welcome
just to
part
deal with Mort.
2. What you are watching right now is the second part to what could possibly end up being
It's
a
true, I was there. It is not
15-part
true.
series, and I will link part 1 in the little card above now. It's
I'm
only
gonna strangle
10 minutes long,
a
and
Barry.
It's a decent establishment video that attempts to organize
maybe an
what is to
Albert.
come. It's a prologue, and it truly highlights some of
When
the
I get
things
my
that
hands on
Mort
you.
has done. In the
When I get
Madagascar
my hands on you,
franchise,
Bobby.
that is. Some people thought I was making outlandish claims about him in that video, and
I
that
would
backing
not.
up. I want
You-
to again inform you, those were not my
You
claims.
little
Those were
shits.
literally things Mort is in the spin-off show. He does have like 12 wives. He is a soul sucker. He is genetically anomalous. I also
What do you
have
mean,
some
Mort's
more
a soul
news,
sucker?
though. The mystery series I will be incorporating into this, alongside my Dubois and
Is that
Over
a
the Hedge
real
theories,
thing?
might be my 8-part series on the lore of Shrek.
Concerned.
That means the timeline theory, 4 godmother theories, 2 donkey theories, and the recent Reggie video will all be a part of this huge DreamWorks dissertation. We'll see how big this video, part 2, ends up being as well, and then we'll regroup. Before we begin, I
don't
also
know
have
how he
updated
talks this
news
fast,
on the
it's insane.
Madagascar timeline. From what I understand, Penguins
Especially
of
for so long.
Madagascar, the TV show, does come after everything in the timeline because at the end of their movie, they meet up with the circus gang again in a post-credits scene I had missed. We see Julian and friends in a Madagascar crate during the Penguins TV intro sequence, but it's likely a scheme of some sort after breaking up with Sonia. So with that said, incorporating the shorts and once again excluding the intro scenes of Madagascar 2 and Penguins, our official timeline stands
back to getting my streak back after I had to miss you all good, dude. No worries.
Madagascar the First, Mary Madagascar,
doing the
Madagascar the Second, Natalie Madagascar, Madagascar the Third, the Penguins movie, and yes, finally the Penguins.
Mort said, "Hail!"
We've finally put a definitive and necessary close on the timeline. There seems to be
Kieran's been watching for 7 streams. Heck yeah.
Detailing the zoo gang as children, and that would be before everything, but it's irrelevant to Mort, and it's not even here yet. So now, people, do you know what time it is?
It's Mort time.
Part 2 would be me detailing Mort's
No. It's Morton time. Morton. That was a terrible pun.
TV show, but I just had to watch All Hail King Julian. I had to, and I watched all 6 seasons of it.
Dang, 6 seasons is
It's why I got no uploads out. So we'll do that first and highlight every bit of oddness in this video. Warning of a lifetime. I might need more than just one. Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and you can tell it's weird when this show is stranger than all of my other theories combined. It's made by different people, but it's canon still, so this will get interesting. It's basically like these writers are literally tempting conspiracy theorists. They load in as many offhand weird comments as possible and literally bait you into solving them. Silver platter granted to me, I swear to you. It's painfully self-aware. What they've done is crazy. Mort is like if my Patrick Star theories all
What the fuck is that
true.
face?
I'm not
Hell
joking.
no.
He truly is
Oh my
a
word.
multi-dimensional identity absorber. This is
Look at that shit. Oh my gosh. What is that demon? Oh my word. Heck to the no. Oh my god. What is going on with Mort? Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
quickly going to devolve into a rapid bullet point format of insanity. Any qualms I had about him just being delusional this whole
that
time
was
were
freaky
obliterated with this show from the first moments when he tempts the Fusa with a high-key, dance. What this episode does try to explain is the feat. Julian rushes in and kicks the predators away with his dance, and Mort develops an obsession with his savior, King Julian, and the weapon.
This is already insane, dude.
It might not be the true root of this obsession, though. We'll see later if it's a red herring or not. Here, Mort has suspicion.
Mort! What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Top 10 cursed images. Oh my word.
Intentions and seems smart enough to evade death and has love for joy.
What is going on?
All of this. The show is full of that fast-paced, lazy joke slapstick, and yet it's also wildly inappropriate and amusing at totally random moments. This will also be a review of the show in some ways. In episode 2, he continues with the inappropriate references, and in episode 3, he authors a best-selling coloring book called 50 Shades of King Julian. When asked to keep a secret, he claims that he has voices that tell him to hide things until it's too late for people to stop him. In this episode, he also survives being eaten by a carnivorous flower and projectile vomiting way more than his body allows for. He is also blown up, crushed, carried away by a bird, and slammed into the ground from hundreds of feet. And again, the humor, it's so adult. There is no way kids wouldn't pick up on this. It's so constant. In the following episode, people literally get drunk from partying, and in episode 5, the Fusa engage in a proclaimed mating ritual to create a new species. It's absolutely crazy. There's this evil Fanaloka named Carl, who has an intimate relationship with
show,
his
by the
growing
way.
pet
Good
cockroach.
lord.
The show is self-aware, and Mort is always this show's test subject. The characters seem to already know he's indestructible, and they send him into dangerous situations constantly. Mort thinks Julian has exploded.
We are 5 minutes and 35 seconds in, and I think I have been more shocked by this almost than anything that happened during reacting to the quartering. The only reason the quartering is worse is because the quartering is real. Oh my gosh, dude. What is Mort getting up to in his free time, bro?
Loaded near the end of episode 3 and proclaims that no matter how much Julian rots, he will put him back together and they'll live with each other forever and ever. A whole new level of disturbed.
Not
Packed
creepy
with lore as
whatsoever.
ever, the end of the episode seems to reveal that there are certain
Hey,
gods in
Saku,
the
how's
sky
it
who
going?
respect
We
the
are
denizens of Madagascar.
we are
This is
reacting
our
to
first
Mort.
true taste of the supernatural in this
Mort
show, and
is
it might come in handy down
insane.
the road. Still, we're only a few episodes in.
I'm dying.
This is going to drain me in the best
I'm going
way
to be
possible.
dying,
But back
coughing
to
in
episode
reaction
4,
to this.
Mort is behaving.
Mort cannot be that bad. Oh, brother. We we are 6 minutes in, and we have dealt with Mort trying to create new species, a 50 Shades of Julian. It's only going to get worse.
And speaking a little more intensely while doing a security check on someone. He wears a glove on his head and it
He
transforms
can indeed
him.
be
From what
that
I've read on the
bad.
Wiki, I'm fairly certain I know what this is, but I'll delve more into that later, because if I theorize now, it'll just be answered later and the time will be wasted. Basically though, Mort spontaneously changes personality, accent, appearance, and still notices that the feet look different today. In the 5th episode, he claims the feet haunt his dreams with pleasure. Mort seems to be lucid no matter how dumb he behaves. He has slightly violent tendencies too, I've noticed, to go along with his indestructibility. He says crazy things while self-aware, proclaiming Julian and Maurice's argument as a mommy and daddy fight. But pause on Mort for a second and let's go back to those sky gods the lemurs worship. When episode 7 begins, they play a boombox and clouds roll in, seemingly confirming the existence of those deities, but I have to theorize a little bit here, bear with me. Because one episode prior, King Julian's bodyguard, Clover, goes on a vacation and she meets a very strange spiritual guru inner peace guy named Sage, who, when he heads off, whistles and a massive bird carries him away into the sky. Could this little bit of oddness be tied to the sky gods? We'll need to see if this sort of thing ever shows up again, because Sage's supernatural aura could tie to these sky gods and Mort can tie to them, thereby possibly answering some things.
Interesting.
Because Mort and these deities are the two main supernatural elements of this show.
Low polymort. Low polymort isn't real. Low polymort can't hurt you. Low polymort. that image is just plain nightmare fuel. Imagine this being in your room at any point in the day, of any point of your life. That would be horrifying.
Two main supernatural elements of this show, from what I've seen so far. You know, aside from this lizard oracle, this show is chaotic neutral. Julian tries to fix his boombox so as to reconnect with Kevin, the god of precipitation, with the help of a small teneric named Timo, who claims Julian's family is inbred. Inappropriate kids show, but there's your single explanation for Julian's behavior. Inbreeding. Timo fixes the
You
boombox
dare
with mechanical
mock
skills
our
and becomes their
Lord and
scientist.
Destroyer.
He works out of a crashed USSR space
Yes.
pod. While he fixes
I
the
am
boombox
mocking the
to
Mort.
reconnect with the sky gods,
Mort
tries
can
to
strike
summon
me down if he
rain
dares.
with a song of his own and flings sticks into the sky. He suddenly screams, "Sun!" and then the sticks return stab him perfectly with maximum force. It's possible that he's an enemy of the sky gods and may not even know it. When they bring back the boombox to summon Kevin, Mort screams that the boombox is undead like a zombie and panics. You have experience with that too, Mort? In a previous episode, we saw Mort's X-ray, but here, a blow dryer seems to go through his mouth and out his butt real quick, so which is
Wild.
normal?
Have a nice day,
anatomy
Saku.
or
Hope it
anomalous?
goes well.
When he invites the local oracle
Appreciate you for
into his
dropping
home,
in.
he has a very odd demeanor and offers her a lotion made of his own
Keep an eye out
tears.
for Mort. I
In
will.
this episode, episode 7, everyone sort of talks
He
to
can come
themselves
at
and
night.
acts if they have voices and
Oh,
identities,
indeed he
but
can.
Mort, as usual, takes the cake, when he gets in the bathtub with the Oracle and claims they'll be sisters forever. They borderline portray him as Annie from Misery, as creepy, as maximally self-aware as possible. They play the creepiest music as Mort disappears and then reappears with a blonde wig on, and treats her like they are sisters. Something's going on here. Something tells me this is a soul the wiki
May Mort's wrath be kind upon you, non-believer.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Next episode, Mort bullies Maurice and then joins a monarchy rebellion group who manipulates him into creating good art.
10,094 channel points. That's a
Based
lot.
off of the things he's drawing, I'm quite
Appreciate
sure
it,
he
Saku.
knows he's being manipulated. He flips back and forth, eats dog meat and vomits it up. He knocks a ton of cacti over on them. He knows he's irritating them. In episode 9, he's scared and bold.
You
then
can't
claims
yet.
He saves cake for his cheat days, and then things finally hit their stride and unravel in the season 1 finale. We're going through this quick, and I'm taking notes real quick. First, Maurice claims that he's just a co-star, implying he knows he's on a TV show. Then, Mort hits back with the innuendos, saying he'd love to eat the yummy King Julian. But the finale's true purpose is what shocks me most of all, and answers many of the oddities so far. You see, there's this cove of wonders near their kingdom where tons of stuff washes ashore
them for
and
now.
fine coffee. Julian gives it to the king
Oliver's
to
plotting.
improve productivity, and Mort tries chewing the coffee because he's stupid, and he screeches about how he has a drinking problem. The kingdom starts losing it, and then, literally right after this show jokes about conspiracies of super-intelligent Middle-earth government corruption, the most actually unexpected left-field answer to all of this madness emerges from the shadows. Mort walks in with a monocle on and a British accent, claiming coffee has had a drastic effect on him, making him extremely intelligent for as long as it's in his system. I believe Mort, being this small and having that much coffee, has had this crazy hypermetabolic effect that cranked him way past being hyper and basically acted as a drug unlocking his brain. I can't tell if this is just a more intelligent Mort or a new personality altogether.
Not a good thing for Mort.
Does
for us.
He loves King Julian just as regular Mort does. It's soon revealed that the evil Carl guy set up the coffee to take over the kingdom with caffeine addiction. Smart Mort helps save the day, claiming normal Mort is barely competent. He convinces all of Carl's guards that they should be unsatisfied with their current healthcare plan and that he can help them form a union to negotiate a working wage and a retirement plan.
Communist Mort.
I am not joking. This is like the culmination of every whack theory I've ever posted on this channel, and I'm made for this. Carl's workers turn on him, and Mort slowly degrades back and forth before becoming obsessed over the feat once again. The day is saved and season 1 finishes, but the show is not nearly over, and my theories are truly just now beginning.
So coffee makes Mort relatively sane and normal,
spontaneously
I
summons
guess.
an organ out of thin air and says he won't explain how he did it. The second episode is one massive social commentary after another, and the third showcases
What was
Mort's
that
creepiness
picture,
when his voice
dude?
deepens. So romantically disturbed. He brings out the blonde wig again.
You're gonna
and
summon
tries
the
to
gay
make a
Brazilian
self-aware
elf, didn't
joke
he
by
go?
saying, "Denial isn't just a river I heard about, apparently." He claims he's been in strange love before. Or is this a separate wig persona? We meet Clover's sister, Crimson, and she almost gets married to Julian, who objects and claims he's having an affair by loving his kingdom more than her, causing her to dip out and team up with Julian's uncle, who is trying to reclaim the throne. More later on that. But the reason for Mort's wig here? He's the flower girl of the wedding. He behaves differently, I swear. It's not the Mort we're used to.
Yeah, call each other's come harass the fanboy. I am not a fanboy.
Julian is given a pineapple and tricked into believing it contains the knowledge
go to your
of all
huts and
things
atrophy
fire.
like normal
After
children.
He rips apart the beach ball of baby lemurs and tells them to go home and atrophy like normal children. What? Mort gets jealous of the pineapple's closeness to Julian and dreams of mutilating it. His worries aren't baseless, as Julian claims to spoon the pineapple at night. Mort kidnaps the pineapple and ties it to a chair while putting on a villainous accent and stroking his tail like a villain would stroke its cat. This is almost certainly another persona. So now we've got Smart Mort, the Misery Mort, this Mort. I'll catalog it later. They all seem to share the same motivation.
Not a fanboy.
Mort has influenced them, but at their core, they are not our Mort. Mort hallucinates that the pineapple is sentient and mocking him. When approached about his
A
kidnapping of the
sentient
pineapple,
pineapple,
his
huh?
inner monologue panics and then suddenly his face changes, and another Mort responds to the inner monologue followed by another.
Oh yeah,
Another,
schizophrenic
and
Mort.
then one of them says,
Schizophrenic Mort, I did catch on to as a kid because I saw some of these episodes. Schizophrenic Mort was notable enough that a lot of people remembered it, which was interesting.
They are now quite distinctly escalating the voices in his head from joke status to mystery status. To escape the confrontation, Mort spontaneously vomits excessively before regretting the sadness he's brought to Julian by kidnapping the pineapple. He tries returning it and evades some Fusa by tempting them with his little dance again. The Sky Gods
What is this quote? Trust me, these haunches will be worth it. Oh my gosh. Mort, what the hell? I almost paused you before forgetting this is a live stream.
and strike down the Fusa with lightning, but Julian seemingly dies in the
I can't blame you,
dude.
dude.
Where the pineapple some friggin' how proves itself to actually be
Split.
sentient, unless this is just his subconscious. Just before he reawakens, Mort claims, "He looks so peaceful. I can have his body, right?" He says it in the creepiest possible alternate accent. Who is this now?
Do you
Is it
remember
really
that?
Mort?
I saw that scene
Pineapple
before. I do
sapiens,
recall
the
it.
episode ends when Mort
correctly.
crushes it with a sledgehammer. Next episode, he makes an intentionally
Where's my
creepy
coffee
drawing
thing?
of Julian, and to top it off, helps introduce money into the kingdom.
Ooh, money.
He immediately
A capitalist
becomes a
Mort
loan
now.
shark who cons people within seconds. I'm not sure if his cleverness is him or another persona. He manipulates the entire population of the kingdom and creates devil deal contracts in which people sell him their souls or their beings.
Wild.
Again, this
That's
isn't my
actually
interpretation.
crazy.
This is all
That
word
I
for
don't
word
remember
in the show.
whatsoever.
He then promises Julian money if he sells his body to him by having Mort go on a date with his foot. What the f***? Everyone starts dying off because he hoards the money as a tycoon, culminating when Mort says game over and reveals he thought he was playing Monopoly the whole time. Next
Crazy.
episode, Sage comes back.
No,
and we
Mort,
see
that
the
is
huge
not
hawk
Monopoly.
Again, who he claims is his spirit animal. Other than that, there is still no evidence Sage has relations with the Sky Gods. In the 7th episode of Season 2, Mort claims he's always off in his own world before his eyes split apart. This is in an episode amongst rigorous political innuendo regarding Julian's ancestor, Julian the Terrible, who was later struck with lightning, presumably by the gods, before disintegrating. Crazy show. Episode 8, though, is top-tier disturbed when Mort is so desperate for Julian's love that he convinces him he's secretly been his son all along. Mort then pretends to be a baby and embraces it to the point that I think it might be yet another personality. It's uncanny and bizarre. When Julian asks
uncanny
Clover
is
to be
right.
the mommy, she picks up Mort and his accent changes again when he calls her hard and bony. You guys were right. This show takes years off your life. I feel my soul just leeching away. This episode ends up doing crazy stuff.
Did Mort say that because Mort's not bony, or that would be concerning?
Including a pageant Karen named Tammy who hypnotized her infant son, but the moral of this episode is this. Mort is actually older than King Julian is. We knew this before, but I want more explanation of this, and I just know I'll be getting some eventually. This show overall feels like one of those episodic
Immortal Mort,
comedies,
again.
but the writers have an absolutely phenomenal respect for continuity, better than some dramas I've seen. This makes it easier and deliberate. Commendable. But then in episode 9, Mort inhales Julian's aged toenail clippings to track him like a bloodhound. You know what's funny?
What? Dude, like half of my reaction is just going to be going what to Mort every time he does something just so off the rails. I can't even imagine where it came from. What were these writers smoking, dude? Like, I know Keltec has crack. The writers of this show had something else, dude.
Many times now I've made a joke when writing notes here, and then seconds later it happens in the episode. Just goes to show how off the wall this really is. It is as crazy as my craziest theories. Mort attacks the guy who kidnapped Julian in this episode and literally
I want to
tears
get off
apart his
Mr. Bones'
face until he
wild
looks
ride.
thrice his initial age. I don't, it can't even. In episode 10, Julian reaches
Hold on,
down
what was
Mort's...
that?
It is as crazy as my craziest theories.
The ride
Mort
never
attacks
ends.
the guy who kidnapped Julian in this episode and
Kidnapped
literally
Julian.
tears apart his face until he looks thrice his initial age. I don't...
Ouch.
It can't even. In episode 10,
Wow.
Julian reaches down Mort's esophagus and pulls out a live butterfly and a skeletonized human arm. In the following episode, Mort is his
Where'd
usual
Mort get
chaotic
that?
self, but we also see a monkey from the USSR who crashed on Madagascar from outer space and is still alive. He then returns home where the USSR flags are still in full effect, meaning Madagascar
Why did they specify he's still alive? Does Mort kill the monkey?
might take place in the 80s. I need more before solidifying it though. In episode 12, Mort tries out to be Julian's rebound advisor after Maurice leaves. Mort pretends to be French,
Rebound
then
advisor.
sophisticated, and then really suggestive. He licks his finger and sizzles it on his buttock. Are these more personas?
What,
Well, the snazzy
bro?
one wears the same wig as the Misery altar, so maybe.
Wild.
Hard to tell as he admits he's faking it. In Julian's time of need, the pineapple's ghost reappears to him. Still unclear
The
whether it's an
pineapple
advisor
died.
from the heavens, Julian's conscience, or something to do with the sky gods. I don't know. In episode 13, Mort once again pulls the mommy-daddy card on the main characters. Weird perspective. Episode 14 is relentlessly rife with religious commentary when the existence of the sky gods is finally questioned. Suddenly, one of the gods appears, but it's just a robotic ploy by Carl to kill Julian. So they build a counter-robot and
course
Mort
it is.
attacks back. Will we ever learn
The
the truth
French.
of the supernatural? This
Mort,
show's
the
having an
most
identity
normal
crisis and it thinks
character
it is the leftovers.
ever.
But near the end, a massive cloud does fly down and immediately back up after raining and electrocuting, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that these gods do exist. In episode 15, Mort becomes the face of Julian's new nightclub, Club Moist. He dances up on stage like a chick from the roaring 20s,
What?
singing
Hey,
about how
Zero
Julian's
Films,
feet
welcome
make him
in.
weak,
We're
and
reacting
everyone
to
applauds
the
for
Mort
being
lore.
so moist. They
It's
rename him
wild
to
so
Pork
far.
because he's tender, sweet, and smoky. He celebrates by raving
French
about
blah.
how he's a non-kosher meat. He attracts lemurs from all over the kingdom and he
He's
sings
a
about
non-kosher
bunions.
meat.
This is another personality I dare you to pull it up
Oh
on
my
Netflix and watch
goodness.
for yourself. Mort wishes to be used.
Mort
words
is-
from his own mouth. In the
Oh
season
my
2
goodness,
finale,
man.
Julian thinks he's dying, so Mort keeps giving him sponge baths and rectal thermometers. Onward to season 3,
What?
but be warned, everybody.
How
this is when
many
things
rectal
start to
thermometers?
actually
Oh my
get
word.
weird. What you've seen so far is literally nothing. Inappropriate messages abound about selling bodies, holes, and bloomers. The two-part premiere follows everyone saving Julian again, who's been kidnapped by pirates this time. Mort, as per the usual, tracks with conviction so intense he eats Julian's footprints. He organizes a battle plan as if he's some sort of warlord, maybe another persona. When they
Crazy.
find the ship, all of the other pirates recognize Mort
Ate his
as
footprints,
Red
apparently.
Pirate Mort, the nemesis of this ship's captain. Last they met, they were fighting for the love of Empress Galeria off the jagged coast of Fush. He has a painting
Okay,
of
then.
the battle on his wall at home. and
Goes
he
to show how
screams,
old Mort
"For
is."
Galeria," before owning the other captain. Mort calls the other pirates mere children and doesn't object to the notion that he'd kill at least 5 people a day during his pirating years. Then, he shows off his true
That's
supernatural
quite a few.
capabilities when Clover dangles Julian like a carrot on a stick above Mort, causing him to sprint on the water and drag the boat behind him. When Julian's parents return, Julian is thrilled, but the others are not.
Oh,
and
there's
Mort
a human there.
suggests they eliminate the parent.
How often do we see a human skeleton in this show? I don't even think about that because there are at least 2 there. One here, one here. And I think there's a couple from the plane at some point.
and
But
make it look
interesting
like an
how many we
accident.
actually
Apparently,
do see because I
knows
didn't
the guy.
notice those
Everyone
before.
finally just asks
Ever.
Mort, what the hell is wrong with him? And he says a lot of stuff before splitting his eyeballs again. When they decide to focus on older hobbies, Mort claims his favorite hobby is making wigs out of stolen
Stolen
hair.
hair.
Fucking McFuck. Maurice's only hobby is taking care of Julian, who's the closest family he has. Mort
Yep.
interrupts
Okay.
and proclaims
I
that he's
agree with that
outlived all of
string
his
of words.
relatives. It's like he's flaunting his eeriness at this point. He suddenly forgets
my
Clover
goodness.
even exists for a moment, and then we see into Julian's nightmare. And the second it popped up, I knew what they were doing. I just about died from throwing my body into the wall, aghast with shattered expectations. Nope. No.
Is he not gonna show it?
You gotta be f***ing kidding me. What?
I guess this is it.
What? Why are you talking backwards?
Oh,
You know,
Mort's a
this
demon.
actually makes about as much contextual sense as the work it's based on.
Uh-huh.
So this is directly parodying Twin Peaks, and just when I thought they wouldn't go there, they did exactly that. By the way, I did reverse Mort's speech, and he basically just says here, "Let's do this. From where we come from, there's always mangoes in the air." Reference to something that itself makes sense to the subconscious of maybe a sleep paralysis demon. From what we've seen, I must admit, Mort is the best one for this portrayal. A pineapple even flies by, once again pulling a leftovers by hiding whether or not this fruit spirit is just in his dreams or if it's really a spiritual mystery box. Mort later obsesses over Julian
There's
having
another
dreamt
skeleton.
of him and calls him a lover. Julian hallucinates Mort getting eaten by a shark, and Mort somehow is aware of this. Can he read minds? Mort helps make Maurice cry just to mock his emotions. Mort brings up that guy who makes people disappear.
And there's the
again,
low poly
on
Mort
deaf
again.
ears. At this point, we've reached episode 5 of the 3rd season, and Mort's back at it with that glove that
I
makes
brought
him
the glove.
aggressive. He sniffs it and
Oh, it
laughs
makes him
evilly,
aggressive.
presumably knowing that it will summon his altar like last
Interesting.
time. We are met with more and more fourth wall breaks than ever, and Mort severely dislocates his rib and cranks it back into place maniacally. By the way, it's revealed that there's an uprising.
Sorry. Mort dislocated his rib and put it back. Pardon? Pardon me entirely. How? That's more than a little concerning. That's a lot concerning. Okay, though.
Of sentient bells that plan to reclaim Madagascar from beneath the ground.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, Mort does have experience with zombies, as we jokingly asked before, because in episode 6 he has a tea party with one. In episode 7, Mort romanticizes Julian again and then gets abducted by aliens
Okay.
after praying to the sky gods. Psychic lizard lady uses her telepathy and sees it was just some researchers tracking lemurs. They barcoded Mort. This proves that the lizard truly is magic, though, and she can read minds quite clearly, so there is some supernatural.
They barcoded Mort. Interesting. Pardon me entirely.
in the
I
show.
said pardon
Mort
me
sifts
entirely.
through every personality type we've seen yet while going through this episode. Maybe they were out researching him for his anomalous psychology. They do chip
Yeah,
in the
they
following
might.
night, and everyone rescues him later, learning that humans exist in the process. So yes, this episode is crucial, but I question why they wear hazmat suits in Madagascar. Mort
That's
then
also
eats
a
a
good
bucket of
question.
tracking chips, of course. Everyone else hides in the bunker, and when the main characters get back and they cannot find anyone, they think all of the kingdom raptured to the sky god's heavens. The psychic lizard laments about being left behind. This show thinks it's the leftovers again. In episode 8, Mort pretends to be a butterfly so he can start a war by firing mangoes at innocents from the air. Turns out the real butterflies are all
That's
psychopaths
funny.
and were just waiting for a reason to attack, so now they have it. War happens, socio-political commentary, they kill the queen, happy ending, and then finally, we get the next
Finally,
true
what?
reveal episode. Sort of. Julian wants fast food for the kingdom. Mort helps out. He claims he was born 5 years premature. His grandmother left him a huge tank of healthy food. He puts on a deep voice that sounds nothing like himself. Actual anti-falsetto headass. It gets crazier. Way crazier. They run out of food, and
What is
Julian asks Mort to remember
anti-falsetto?
how they can get some more. Mort panics and screams he forgets everything his granny told him because it was 50 years ago.
Okay, first,
Julian
how
screams,
old are you?
How old are you? And then Mort's inner voice, himself, says, "Come on, Mordecai, you can remember," before he suddenly sees his granny. She is the one with the blonde wig, from what I can best tell. He's pulling some sort of Bates Motel altar. He communes with her memory somehow. Julian slaps him and asks who he's talking to. Mort intuits the recipe for fast food and loads a bunch of discarded
What was up
junk
with
into
his
the
grandma
food
then?
tank and creates food again, but then it becomes a huge metallic black hole of sorts that sucks everyone in until Clover saves them. So we know Mort's granny has some answers to the madness. I need to see more of her, or Smart Mort, to get some true theories going here. Mort wants to eat a scorpion, but his mouth won't open wide enough. He slurps it up anyways. Scorpions crawl out and he consumes them again. It's now episode 10. More political commentary.
That's some
This
fever
one is
dream.
really trying hard to make itself obvious. Not particularly one way or another, but the show undoes its own lessons and just
scorpions.
mocks literally every aspect of various situations through a lens of lemurs. The jokes also have reached the point of being as edgy as Total Drama
Self-defense
Island,
scorpions.
but slightly more veiled. In episode 11, Mort claims he had a homeschool prom with his granny. Cue to him making out with her in his mind. He wakes up and screams, "What year is this?" with a wig on.
What?
He references his grandmother again in episode 12 when he quotes her as saying, "Set the butterfly free, and if it gets caught in the spider web, there's gonna be a whole bunch of spider babies come springtime." He then flips upside down with a horrific grin on his face
then, Mort.
and crawls around the room cackling like an evil spider. He's beaten to near death by a huge wildebeest and is fine. He explains this, claiming he's part starfish, and that he can regenerate so well once he grew back his own head. They literally just explained part of his seeming invulnerability. They did it for me. This is, once
Interesting.
again,
This is
like
soon,
my
Arden.
Patrick Star theories came to
Soon
life.
what?
If he's a starfish,
What do you
then
mean
he almost
soon?
certainly is also part spider based on
Now
what we
I'm
just saw
concerned.
earlier there. He doesn't
What do
lie.
you mean soon,
He's
Barry?
serious. Everything is
What did you
appallingly
do?
True. He gets the snazzy voice on again when he says,
You don't
"I'll
have to
do
poke
what
me with a stick unless you want
You
to."
don't have to poke me with a stick
Uh-huh.
unless you want to." He gets sucked into a
Mort
reel of
freaks
tape,
me out.
compressing him into the cassette, but he's a starfish, so that's fine. He's fine, obviously. Clover gets hurt, and she appears in the White Void, where Pineapple greets her and brings her one of her deceased relatives. Clover knows Kung Fu, like the panda variety, and her grandmother taught her before dying. This then clearly is limbo. It's not all in Julian's mind, as Clover never met Pineapple. The pineapple is just the random form the king's spirits decided to take after people joked about it really being the case. It truly
Interesting.
is supernatural. This has
Oh, the
ramifications.
shocks.
Pineapple claims he made an interdimensional bet, and he fears he will lose it. We later confirm for good that this is
I don't know
the
how soon
afterlife,
that's gonna
and
be.
a bunch of
I gotta
fruits rule
naturally
over
get
it
to
as they watch
1,000
cage
YouTube
fight
subs,
between Clover's
so-
grandma and the man who killed her. This just leveled up. I'm sort of blowing all my theories now, but I really damn think these fruits are the sky gods. Or at least what Julian has interpreted as sky gods. They call heaven Frank Rila, and this is later revealed to be Frank Rila, and the Frank Rila is the sky god's heaven, etc. Interpretation. Finally, in the season 3 finale,
Interpretation.
Julian wants
Yep,
to
that's
map
this whole
all
show,
of the
dude.
universe, and Mort claims he's from a planet named Futicus Majora in the far reaches of space. He could be pretending, not lying, but pretending. This is, after all, just a pretend
It's a
map,
little
and
too
Julian
detailed
says
of a
they're
chart
their
for
own
Mort to
solar
be
system.
lying.
But what if he's not kidding? This explains everything and nothing at the same time. Alien Mort.
Hold on. His constellation drawing was separate, and he had it from before. Interesting. I don't know what that would mean for Mort, but noted.
In this finale, everyone builds a wall to keep out the other species. They launch all of the Madagascar kingdoms out with a catapult, and then the various other kings...
Wait, hold on. Is that why when the lion, hippo, and giraffe, and zebra, all show up, it's only the lemurs? Is that because they built the wall?
all rally
Chat, we
under
need
a
to fund an
mysterious
Arden
overseer that
billboard.
plans a revolution.
What do
Revealed
you
to be
mean?
none other than Mort. Julian, in his direst
What do you
time of
mean by
need,
an Arden
sees the ghost
billboard?
of Pineapple, who's in rough shape because he lost
Hey,
his bets and
Lark,
he owes everyone
how's
money.
it going?
Julian dismisses his advice.
We are
we
watching the Mort
Mort
theories.
doesn't like leading a revolution, but I'm pretty
it's
sure
wild.
His personality stepped into the job because he rallies all the kings to invade and proclaims how everyone has to go for the males first, sell the children, and quote,
Sell the children.
"Oh, the women."
Mort's wild.
Always treat
Mort
with
be
respect.
wildin' at every turn.
You never know what's him or his alter egos, and this is putting me in a tight situation. I need
But how's it
to
going,
cut
Lark?
it
I'm
here
glad to
because
see
this
you
is
here.
quite
Hope
possibly
your
the
night's going
longest
pretty well.
individual theory video I have ever posted. It might break my
Yeah, why
25
Lark?
minute limit, and I need probably 2 more.
Lark's
Yes,
awesome.
this is still all only part 2, and now
Yeah, this
it's
is
been
only
split
part 2
into
out
3
of
sections so I
28.
can edit it all in time. I'm going to edit the next one now really quick and get it out ASAP, so absolutely subscribe and stay tuned because season 4...
Oh dear. And it only gets crazier from here. Mort is just an infinitely crazy creature.
Everyone, make sure to watch the prologue to this huge theory first, and then the big first section of evidence. You are basically on part 3 right now. Technically, it's part 2, section 2, but for the sake of the algorithm, I'm going to call it part 3. I will link parts 1 and 2 above now as a playlist that I've made. For those who are prepared, it's time for season 4 of All Hail King Julian. We are halfway through the show. Mort starts
was
off the
8
premiere
seasons.
by
I thought it
getting
was
his own
6.
TV show called Still Life with Feet, where he mimics Bob Ross and draws Julian's feet. He
Of course
also,
he does.
of course, wears
It's
the blonde
always
wig
the feet.
again and actually shows us another wig he's woven out of the stolen hair he mentioned from before. Clearly, this is something all of the
Like
personalities
it's here. I'm
are
sorry, Lark,
doing.
for their
More
behavior. I'm
people
the only
mock
innocent
Maurice
here.
until he runs away
Albert is
bawling,
not
"I have
entirely innocent either.
feelings." Mort fears that Julian can somehow hear his thoughts, and he panics, worried they will betray him. We're getting close to some
Like,
answers.
who will betray him?
I can just feel it. A couple of characters rob the kingdom, and during it, they have an odd conversation about friendly, non-weird wrestling. When they're arrested, they get put in a prison cell where Mort also resides, and he says the crazy line.
Orange is the new you. Wanna wrestle? As long as it's weird.
Creepy as hell. Another
No.
persona. You
Heck
see, this
no,
show's
Mort.
crazier than even the worst SpongeBob, and yet it has incredible consistency. I've said it before. This makes it truly disturbed. It's a show that pretends to be a kid's show, and that's what makes it
It
so
really
eerie.
is.
But it actually
If you're
is a
in, you
kid's
are
show,
not
so it's
innocent.
very
You
unsettling.
liar.
Mort finally
You
describes
liar.
his inner imagination world in episode 2 when he says nobody ever gets hurt there, most of the time.
Gets
I want
hurt
to see
where?
this world, Mort. Later, everyone puts on a massive act, and he plays the bad guy.
Everyone
He
but Arden
relishes
is
in
innocent.
this and darkly chuckles with glee. Another persona. He gets a little
They
too
lie.
into it and lowers them all into a
They
volcano
lie
while laughing like a
from
maniac.
every
Later, it is
word they
implied
say.
that he is faking it, though. In episode 3, he once again shows his artistic ability when he paints a phenomenal image of Julian, and Julian, of course, calls him a vulgar little mutant. Mort asks,
When's lunch? I haven't eaten in like a month.
"Ah, a self-sustaining system perpetuating the Lovecraftian
Arden
take
wanna
it
wrestle?
further.
No,
He
I
claims
don't.
He's real good at smearing
I'm
stuff,
good.
and that he has parties with organic mannequins of his friends. What Mort has is an obsession with Julian. It sure ain't love, and I don't know if I'd necessarily
Yeah,
call it
it's
fetishization
definitely-
either. It's an obsession. He has another
It's
internal
more than an
discussion with a
obsession.
personality.
I don't know what you
This
would call it,
time,
but it's more than
seems to
that.
be his inner artist. Our Mort loves the feet, the artsy one does not. Important distinction. Everyone stares at him in creeped confusion. I can't tell if the personality is coercing Mort or
Interesting.
taking over Mort. It rotates. Lots more social commentary and sophisticated critique of the avant-garde.
It rotates.
He eats
Can you
fruits
rotate an
whole, but that's
apple
all
in your
pretty
head?
normal, of course, for this show. In the corner, we once again see his home planet painting.
It's there
Funny, I
again.
was just about to say his obsession was alien and fueled by a desire to return to his home constellation. His goal in this episode was to paint Julian the way he
Also
truly
appreciate it,
sees
Barry. I
His
forgot that
house is
those aren't
full of
going with the
foot
bot
art,
down.
and he wants to mount
Appreciate
the
it.
real
Thank you
deal
very much, man.
eventually. Julian finally grants Mort foot access, and Mort
Ew.
screams, "I love you, the feet!"
Ew.
He throws his face
Ew,
and
I
tongue
don't
all
like
over
that.
them. See? He
Ugh. Mm-hmm.
butchers grammar and says the feet, as if it's
Get
an individual
this
entity
image
possessed
out of
with
my
not some
sight.
sort of usual
Oh my
atypical
goodness.
attraction.
I'm begging
He
you,
hates
please
other
get it
feet in
out.
comparison to Julian's,
Get this
but he'll
away
take what
from
he
me.
can get. In
Thank
episode
you.
4, he has a minute-long fart. He refuels by breathing in, once again proving him to be a hollow entity in essence. He wishes to be first on the sacrifice list and actively demands danger. He kicks out another sacrifice to take his place and says, "I'm first on the list. Read it and weep, Grams." He's talking to Hector, an elderly lemur in the kingdom. I was all like, aren't you older than him, Mort? And Hector
Yeah.
literally follows it up with, you're older than me, Mort, see? Usually I have to highlight continuity like this, but here they are, seconds later confirming it for me. Accommodating show. So anyways, they catapult Mort far off the island, and then he suddenly appears right next to them. Changed. So when his altars come into the light, they can teleport him? This rabbit hole is degrading.
Channel your inner
Mort
fish.
says
What do
he
you
floats
mean?
real good
Oh,
because
the
he
feet.
swapped all his parts for wood years ago. The other character I do want to highlight is the
No,
only one I enjoy
no.
more
The
than
fish
Mort,
woman can have her
another
feet. I
supernatural
don't
one
need them.
that can aid in our mission here. That character is Todd.
He can have all the
He
feet.
is freaking hilarious. He's this little pageant boy who's always commanded around by that insane Karen soccer
Dude's
mom I
eyes
mentioned
have been
before,
like this
Tammy.
the
She's
entire
nuts
time.
and screams his name, and he always stares blankly into space with the utmost creepiness until called upon by his mother, at which point he does something random but extremely talented. In this episode, he highlights his paranormality when he walks
Ooh.
vertically down the side of a chest. Everyone's rightfully scared of him. His mom claims he can be activated, whatever the hell that means. His default face
I don't
is
like that.
brainwashed, though,
I'll tell you that
so I can
much.
certainly guess.
Oh, that's
He
not
has this
Mort. That's the
horrible,
son.
evil
Who?
attack face that looks demonic. And then,
Yeah,
in
more
this
than a
episode,
little.
Tammy finally explains it. She laughs villainously, and no f***ing joke, claims that they
What?
can only stop him by driving a stake through his heart while a priest recites a ritual. Todd is possessed by a demon. She screams at him to let go of Maurice's
Insane.
jugular, and he goes back to Catatonia. He looks like Mort and is important. This baby lemur is a key to a lock I haven't come across yet. But back to our good pal Mort, who disturbingly locks mannequins
Yep,
inside
that's
of his
disturbing.
house and drops
Just-
a boulder
just
on
a
it to put
tad.
them out of their
Just a little
supposed
bit.
bizarre misery. He puts on the wig again and plays some drums.
Just in the
Seconds
slightest.
later, though, he's back to our Mort, and I can't tell if he's right here hallucinating identities
you
around
ruin
him
my
or-
group of
or what.
5?
He spoons sand and then pulls a cannon out of thin air. Dread pirate, I say.
Okay.
People around him don't even question how he apports things anymore. Mort calls Julian handsome, but I know better. It's a twisted obsession. Even when he laughs normally, the subtitles default to calling it evil. Let it be known. Episode 5. Mort twerks
Yeah, Mort's
on a
definitely
pole to
evil. There's
seduce
not a question about
rooster.
that.
During alleged sensitivity training, Julian calls Mort a fun-sized trash goblin, and Mort loves it. Also calls him a worm-riddled peach pit and a second-hand
Also,
donkey
Mort's wearing
puppet,
a diaper
which Mort
again.
enjoys as well. Carl
And
wants to keep
Maurice was
Julian
wearing
on his
one
toes, to
earlier.
which Mort says,
Don't even look at his toes.
Julian kicks him as
Wild.
per the usual. Here we also get a shot of one of Carl's side hustles, which is freelance religious work. He screams, "The power of the sky gods compel you," at Todd, causing him to float in midair and then thrash around.
Todd's
Demon
the son,
child.
right?
I'm getting exhausted already. I mean, there's so much. And then a lot
Yeah.
of weird shit happens at once. Mort
Oh, boy.
suggests that the Fusa have resorted to cannibalism. Mort implies he likes eating live chicken. Maurice lays an egg. Mort falls into a deep fryer and instantly turns into popcorn, then back again. Episode 6. More Mort madness.
What?
I think he somehow gets onto the mainland and then returns via parachute.
He's got a fork in his
fork
head.
Stabs him straight through the head, and he asks if something's burning. So clearly Mort has a brain, right? One that can be affected similarly to a human's. He later rolls around in an onion patch to protect from werewolves. There's some unique commentary in this episode on cults, and Mort gets hypnotized into
Wild.
being the evil cat of an evil, sophisticated
Guys, I think we gotta
crocodile who
kill
tries to
him.
usurp
We
the
gotta
kingdom.
try.
The show gets very,
I don't know if we
very,
can.
very weird. Mort then meows like the supposed cat he is. Probably genetic. I doubt it, but we shall see. Mort turns his head 180 degrees. Is he part owl? I doubt it, but again, we shall see. And it persists here as Season 4 is pure
Almanac,
insanity.
holy cow.
Episode 7. Mort claims nobody ever asks about him unless he's under investigation. Based on his
Ouch.
track record, it's certainly clear he's malicious indeed. Multiple arrests are quite likely.
I'm
in his
King
past.
Julian.
Mort is
Uh-huh.
asked if his family has had inbreeding, and he says he's his own grandfather. We soon learn that his dad was a bear, and from what I understand, we eventually meet Grammy Mort's husband, so clearly someone is lying somewhere. Does this inbreeding mean Mort has time traveled? We're in very close proximity to the bombshell episode, yes, but I don't know. Next up, Mort swims in a tub of toenails and squeals, "Give it to me," as he fills his mouth with them. Tammy starts speaking in various distinct tongues when she presumes someone around her is possessed by a demon. She has clear experience with Todd. Mort then counters the notion that he breathes through his mouth when he dives in a pool and claims his gills are clogged with drain hair. This means he is also part fish. Mort panics and needs to consult his inner voices. One of them calls him Mortimer and tells him not to blow it. This new name counters when he called himself Mordecai and brings up the possibility that he just adds stuff onto his name quite randomly. But his original name is just Mort, which, as I've said many times before, is Latin for death. Several more Morts show up in his mind and show that they've got a whole system in this psychotic inner world. They're starting to truly build on Mort's lore, finally. He gets married to Pam, a woman who tries stealing the throne. They accuse Mort of being a completely unknown species, to which he replies he's fully aware that he's a medical marvel whose father was a bear. So much is going on now, it's madness, and they're revealing things about his genealogy. Remember Sage?
I wonder if they made him in that
huge
lab.
Bird comes crashing into a rock and he heals
They've just been tracking him ever since and see how he interacts with normal lemurs.
He has got to have
That would be
Skyguard
interesting.
relations somehow. Maurice claims to be surrounded by crazy people, and that is very sadly true. Turns out Pam illegally married Mort and is
if we do take that as true,
Turns
then I
out
guess
she
he
also
couldn't have been
married
made in
that
the lab.
zombie who then reconnects with Mort and goes on a cruise. Mort, all done up in his usual blonde wig. It can't get any crazier, but I positively know.
Actually, no. Technically, say Mort was originally of human consciousness. They put it in a lemur, quote unquote, and then he somehow became his own father. Technically, that could work that way.
It will. Episode 8. Mort is leaking something. Later says he burst an artery as well. Also raises his eyebrows, winks, and says he'll take some fine-tunage if we know what he's saying.
Somebody
Pop
shoot
culture
Mort.
commentary abounds in this episode. Mort thrusts the air, zero exaggeration. Then he roasts someone and later says, "Oh, I can handle this." Happy to do it, in fact. He nefariously chuckles.
I'm sure he is.
Another persona. I'm losing it. There's so much.
Why is Puss here?
Just can't. What? So you're telling me? No. We focus on Mort and the supernatural that surrounds him. Now is not the time for Puss in Boots. Shrek may tie in later, but for now, this makes no sense. Moving on. Episode 9, he's electrocuted, showing he does have a skeleton once again. It is implied that Mort helped brainwash some of the citizens, but finally, we made it to the episode where everything that they've ever built up unravels. The beginning of not just this show's madness, but what it does from now on, which is sci-fi madness. Absolute pure insanity, and why I'm making the theory. Season 4, Episode 10. You seriously all have to watch this one for yourselves. They don't even stall the inevitable.
Puss's canon to Madagascar, apparently.
Has that science dude, Timo, build a cloning machine so that he can love more of himself. He does, and various Julians of different personalities come strutting through. Lastly, a female Julian pops out, and Julian falls in love, making Mort jealous. Mort loves her feet too, though, and thus he finally loses it and takes it upon himself to activate the machine again with his butt. He wants his very own Julian to, quote, cuddle, bathe, and feed while he's strapped to a high chair. The machine takes his signature instead of Julian's and reaches into another universe populated entirely by evil Mort clones. Turns out Timo somehow accidentally built an interdimensional portal and merely has let through alternate versions of Julian. In the Mort universe, there's thousands of them, who all bow and pray to their leader, Mordecus Khan, who sits on a giant throne of skulls in the middle of a barren wasteland filled with foot effigies. To those who thought I was joking, I have just stumbled upon the largest untapped gold mine in the known history of fan theorizing.
That would also further explain how
they all
he could
march
be his
right
own
through
father.
the portal, and Mort
apparently.
screams that his nightmares have come to annihilate him. I assume he could detect
These
their
are his
existence through
nightmares.
the fabric of reality, or his memories, I don't know. Every
Yeah.
single Mort in Mordecus Khan's army seems to have the abilities of a regular Mort, and they begin destroying Madagascar while chanting, Mort, 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 Mort? Mort, 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 Mort? Their
That's
war
creepy.
horns are gigantic woodwinds that are not blown into with the mouth, but with the anus. They have endlessly long farts that announce their presence.
Wild.
Mordecus himself shows what a Mort is truly capable of when he claims to smell the fear of other lemurs as he conquers this universe. He claims to be supreme leader of the Mortverse, which to me either means the multiverse in relation to the Mort residing in each one, or it's just the name he gives his own barren universe. Perhaps his horde consists of every other Mort in every other universe he has conquered? Anyways, the gang tracks down Mort and forces him to down coffee so Smart Mort will return. Once
Oh,
he
they
does,
got Smart Mort
things
back.
come full circle. Smart Mort claims he has a friend who can explain the multiverse, and we cut to none other than Pineapple
It's the
in
Pineapple.
his limbo, communicating with those on the ground. How does Smart Mort know Pineapple? How? How on earth? Is this thing even Julian's ancestors? Who knows? Smart Mort has seen it all. Pineapple
idea
then
either.
calls in Dr. Watermelon Balking to
Hey,
explain
Gutsy
the
2007,
multiverse,
how's it
utterly
going?
obliterating the fourth
We
wall
are
process
watching
by
Mort
speaking
Lore.
directly to the quote kids at home.
It's insane.
Pineapple says he owes a lot of money to fruits and veggies of
I
other universes.
have no idea
At
what
this
Mort might
point, I
actually
feel
be
like
other than a
Pineapple
demon.
is sort of the god or a god of our universe, interpreted the only way the characters know how. Smart Mort
So-
refers to regular Mort as himself once again. Normal Mort calls Smart Mort Icky. So is he a persona or just Mort? Answer me, show, damn it. Smart Mort knows so much. He's got all the knowledge of Mort's immortal life, an anomalous elder god trapped as a mouse lemur in the corner of a forgotten
Something like
island
that.
off the coast of Mozambique. Holy hell. He says every Mort in every universe loves the feet, and he gets distracted back into normal Mort, forcing them to copy him again. Mordecus says
Well,
that
except
no
for the art
universe
Mort.
has ever dared
I'm good, buddy. What
face
about
him.
you? Doing
They
pretty
chant their
good.
anthem.
Not too
Mort,
bad.
Mort, Mort, we come to fight, we come to kill. Today you die, you surely will. They vow to leave no survivors and dine on the tears of the dead. The clouds open up and reveal Limbo as the divine fruits watch down on the ensuing massacre. They pump up a massive balloon of a lemur foot, and it entrances the Mort horde. They run straight up a cliff face for
Interesting.
it. Mordecus ain't so easily swayed. I can see why he's their ruler. On second glance, I do think the barren wasteland is in fact a completely ocean-free version of our world, right outside Madagascar. After all, it's through reality, not through space, and they drop down out of the portal that is elevated on our side. Mordecus nearly cuts
Yeah,
off Julian's
that would track.
feet to take as a necklace, but they close the portal in time. Smart Mort returns to the depths of Mort's mind as well, claiming it causes a spatio-temporal imbalance for him to be out. He's multiversal, I know it. Well, that was draining, and we haven't even gotten to the 16-part episode yet. Now we do. Episodes 11, 12,
Julian thrusting the
13
hair
of
again.
the fourth season follow a similar plot that culminates in a massive cliffhanger that is resolved in a whopping
Oh,
13
goodness.
more individual episodes of the serialized drama known as Exiled. It's basically season 4.5 of All Hail King Julian, if such a thing existed, and Netflix has
there's more
for some
wigs,
reason,
I think.
separated it as its individual
Or at least
show
more
because
personalities.
It's more dramatic and chapter-based. In episode 11, though, Mort says he has an imaginary friend
Mort
named Nathan,
is
which, let's face it,
crazy.
another persona. Mort says he likes his Julian soggy and alive. He gets struck by lightning through a
What,
roof.
bro?
Mort once again mocks Maurice's
Soggy and
crime
alive
by
is
saying,
wild. My
"Haha,
friend
he's
David
not
lost
dead
his
inside."
ID, now
This
he's just
presumes
Dave.
Mort thinks the norm is to be dead inside.
Okay,
i.e.,
that was pretty
Mort is dead
good.
inside. Mort's electrocution now causes him to attract appliances, and a Roomba chases him to which he
Roomba
helps
chases
call
him.
an exorcist. So the enormous plot starts right around here, where Sage's brother,
Oh.
Koto, king of the mountain lemurs, comes in and lies about his kingdom being destroyed. It's all a plot to take over the lemur kingdom with his warrior species. Sage is rightfully suspicious. Episode 12. While the mountain lemurs plot and raid,
Potbelly
Mort
pig,
removes
cactus.
all of his organs. Some of them are metallic.
Uh-huh.
Mort then, oh, to my great pleasure, gets a DNA test, and the kingdom's creepy doctor, Dr. S the Snake, is even
Useful.
terrified and disturbed by the results.
Very
the show
useful.
then plays creepy music.
The other
as he
60%
reads
is
off the
made
results in a
of
very
what?
similar fashion to how I did
Chat
in
likes
part
art
one.
and Soggy and
Mort
Alive.
nods as Dr. S says Mort's only 40% lemur, but 60% bear, starfish, sand, potbelly pig,
Right.
cactus, and a spool of copper wire. Mort corrects him and adds on wood chips, to which Dr. S acknowledges as well. This is all only to Mort's knowledge. There could be more, or ones missed on the test. Perhaps these are just from the
Wild.
organs he's replaced. Mort beeps when he's nervous. Julian has a dream of a parallel
Crazy.
timeline where he never met
my
Maurice,
goodness.
and in it,
I
Mort
can't even
claims he
keep
made a
track of
dream
half of these
catcher woven
details.
from Julian's uncle's fur. Again, Julian's uncle is one of the show's villains, constantly trying to reclaim the throne, but we'll get more on him later. Maurice turns out to be an ii, a different species of lemur, and apparently this species is known for sacrificing
Is that a
beautiful
Razor
eyes to
emote?
what they call bell gods at the center
Oh,
of the
the
earth.
bells
Sounds
are
a lot
back.
like sky gods, but we see these. They're the same ones I briefly mentioned were plotting
Oh
from
dear,
before.
man.
They are literal
I guess they're doing their
bells
attack now.
underground. They have prophecies in a whole society, and they foretell a time of lemur war which is about to come. Season 4 finale. Kodo conquers every Madagascar kingdom and enslaves everyone. Mort tries escaping by acting as if he's a drop-dead hot chick, and their guard is a handsome sailor. He's had some
Wild.
clear experience. He asks Todd not to judge him. Todd stares blankly into space, of course. With Kodo, it ain't
Oh,
personal.
Todd, the
Conquest is
demon-possessed
just business.
child of
Julian does a
hypnosis.
dance-off, but fails from lack of endurance. Everyone calls Mort delusional as he uses his teeth to drill out of the prison and save Julian. Mort distracts the execution snake via twerking hypnosis. Mort, epically enough, is
Bro,
the last
what?
line of defense. The snake plays with its new food while Julian escapes on a submarine, starting up
Mort,
Exiled.
what the
Chapter
fuck?
1. Kodo wants to, quote, make Madagascar
Oh,
great
man.
again. Mort is devastated and works like the other captives as an unpaid intern that carries enormous boulders on his back. I swear. Sage is like a parody of wisdom itself and says his usual quote, something like, we are all just kicking the cosmic footy sack with a guy named Skeeter who lives in a van. This is the sort of stagnation everyone else is going through while Mort is taking action. He crawls up on his back like the cat he doesn't know he is, and consults his inner room of personalities once again. They brainstorm on how to kill Kodo while acting in various ways and doing various bizarre things. One of them says,
Oh, baby, daddy likey.
does this somehow imply Mort has absorbed his father? Thought he was a bear. Or does he just see him as a Mort now?
Oh my
How'd
goodness,
he
man.
absorb a bear? Maybe
What
Mort
even-
has the unique
I
power
don't even
to
know
absorb
anymore.
non-Mort, which puts him apart
We're-
from the
we're
likes of
3
the Mort
videos
Board
in and I'm
has
already
resulted
losing
in
it
a
with
genetic
Mort.
soup. I really want a Mort v Mordicus death match. One of the mental Morts says to kill the other lemurs as well, and now we truly do get to see the sorts of evil Mort has rattling around in his soul. He laughs like the villain he is, and everyone is horrified. He's stupid, but he feigns stupidity to an extent as well. He plans to murder
What do you call
Koto
a man who
straight
lost
up.
his car?
Mort has a lot of hella wicked schemes, but he wily coyotes himself every single time.
I'm probably
putting in a
overthinking
full-body
it. What do you
cast.
call it?
They soon later take it off because he regenerates quickly, of course.
I'm not
Kodo
sure
is
all my
amused
bones have
and
grown
makes
back
Mort his
yet.
Jester.
Oh,
Chapter
yo.
2. Sage divorces his hawk, who he also raised from birth. Mort's rib punctures his stomach. Kodo
Wild.
relishes the job and forces Mort to consecutively smash plates on his own head. He dismisses Mort as ignorant, but we once again zoom into his mind and see his
Arliss.
evil personalities claiming
They understand everything.
the little good and bad voices on Mort's shoulders don't exist, for he has a whole society of differing perspectives that take their own spotlights. They do this constantly in Exiled, and they all try possessing him to no avail. Chapter 3. Todd is eaten by a snake mid-dance routine.
walking on all
Speaking of
fours,
snakes, Mort slithers like one during an escape attempt. Serpentine ancestor wiggles like a slug too. We learn that the
Wouldn't be
psychic lizards
surprising.
can teleport. During another escape, Mort seduces the same guard with his "Hey sailor" talk and asks for her hand in marriage. His inner voices object to it.
Strange.
With Julian gone, his personas are really active somehow. One of them suggests a prenup. He manages to win the guard's affection by moving her 1 inch after slamming into her from deflecting off a tree she punched him into. A burglar persona seemingly takes over Mort. We also see a completely different character who actually looks like he has true dissociative identity disorder. Chapter 4. Kodo asks Mort why he constantly giggles evilly.
Where did Kodo
as
get
he
a
plots
scratch
more
like that
escape
from?
routes. In other news, a fish that barfs mud vomits up a human hand that grants Clover a weapon to save the kingdom. More supernaturality. Mort creates a play to distract Kodo during their escape and calls everyone babe. 4 of his personalities mock and chastise him about his failure of playwriting. He gets a little immersed since he's only used to writing novels, but his play is successful and they all tunnel out. Chapter 5. Sharks can talk underwater. Apparently dolphins in this universe are, quote, villains that sell other sea creatures to Russian oligarchs.
Well, that definitely tracks. Dolphins are
from the Penguins show too, but that's
dolphins are like the criminals
Tammy
of the
tells
sea.
little Todd to, quote, inhale mama's wind, baby, as they escape through the tunnel.
Bro, what?
He is right behind her butt. What? They then use Todd's face to shove her up through the
what
ground.
the heck?
What? Kodo finds them. The fez-wearing crocodile ambassador calls Mort a Yeti. Genealogical confirmation. Mort gets a couple of Mordecai voices in the corner of his head to aid him. And these two are fluffy Yeti-esque savages, one of which threatens to bite through Kodo's Achilles heel. They escape in a cloud of fart, while Tammy sicks Todd on the guards.
Okay, the writers of this
Then
show have
something
something to do with farts,
top-tier
man.
shocking
What the heck?
occurs. A topic that I've also
Or at least
done
this season.
rigorous theories on in the past. Mort escapes Kodo by diving into a random glowing wardrobe in the jungle, which leads him down a tunnel
Hey,
and out
Sabian, how's
into
it
our
going?
world, where he is a real mouse lemur in real footage of Madagascarian nature. His crazy grandma is there, and she says,
You've come down the wishing well. Stay with us. This is the real you.
I can't tell
wishing well.
if this is in his mind or if the wardrobe literally led to this sort of real world
Mordecai.
heaven haven, but either way, it's perplexingly cross-dimensional.
Yeah, no,
Unless
this
it's not.
tracks.
You see, I have reason to believe, based on the granny's wording, that this is the real Mort, and the entirety of Madagascar is an elaborate fiction that he's trapped himself in for the sole purpose of self-defense in the real world. It makes sense. Everything radiates into his world. This seems to be implied
Cute
by this
femboy
scene.
yawn.
but
I'm
also
not a
means that
femboy,
Mort
and I'm not
is
cute.
a sort of eldritch god of his own universe. Essentially, then, whether this is truly in his mind or not doesn't change a single bit of the stakes and purpose of what's going on in the show. Either Mort is an elder god who built our universe, or he's a Goodman's mouse lemur that is the elder god of his own fictional universe, who hides
would
there
probably
in
make
his
more sense.
stories for safekeeping. This is presented as a random offhand joke, and I understand why. It's irrelevant, because
You
we
said
already
Mort wasn't
knew
real, now
Mort
you
was
see
some
he
sort of
is.
omnipotent,
Good point.
faceless deity. Most
Oh,
likely
no,
that this is just
I'm
more
dead.
of his crazy, indescribable, hyperdimensional
I'm
inner
not a
mind,
femboy
and
or
his granny
cute.
also being there.
Just
It's
shut
a
up,
joke
Barry.
meant to confuse theorizing, basically, and I won't be confused by it. He flies back out of the wardrobe and promises to fight to the end. Julian is still trying to get back home, and he meets this enormous emotional tentacle in the depths of a cavern who claims to be an alien from another planet,
Bets on how long it takes for this tentacle scene to get weird.
confirming aliens' existence.
Put your bets
outright.
now.
Mort falls for his
Bets.
own traps, but doesn't die,
I think I
of
said
course. I was all fine and good until another character, Gigi,
Bush baby never
reveals
comes
she
in
has
the
a photo
off-season.
on her wall of another real-life animal. Where do we go from here?
How?
It's like SpongeBob, where it's sort of just perspective that makes these characters animated. Who knows? I've also theorized the exact opposite. Say this sentence 10 times
yawning
fast
way
to
too
your
much.
therapist. The evil
You
dolphins
could probably
bully
make a
the nerdy
compilation
tentacle
of all
alien
my
and
yawns
threaten
this
to
video.
sell him to Russia. You can't make this shit up. Which is why I'm appalled that some DreamWorks and Netflix
Okay, I thought the tentacle thing was going to go weird in the other direction. No, they decided to bully the tentacle and sell it to Russia.
writers actually managed to do
Wild.
just that. Mort then explains to Gigi that scientists
That's
claim he has
insane.
unclassified pheromones that make no sense and could possibly be alien. Mort outright confirms here that he's a genetic anomaly from outer space who has no memory. This is sadly a huge step. Sadly, because of how ridiculous it is, and sadly, because it means I can't get a
shivered
chance to
yawning.
theorize on it
Or
as
yawning.
much.
That was
It also
weird.
means Mort is aware of what scientists are and has had time to be studied. The question is
Yeah,
he
probably
referring to
that
when
lab.
they came and kidnapped him in that other episode, or has he been a wanted anomaly for generations? You know,
Lab
I was
too.
told by you guys a few weeks ago to visit something called the SCP Wiki, because apparently
Bro,
my
how is
terminology
this
and
coming
theories
into
sound
this,
similar
dude?
whenever I go off on an
Arden's
eldritch
hoping it
entity.
gets
I
weird.
must say, it's a pretty
I just
interesting
expected
website.
it to.
Hashtag non-spawn. Everything to do with Mort is intentionally contradictory in an interdimensional sense. Maybe this whole show is just the subdimensional brainchild of
stop
its
yawning.
writers. You know, that's probably the single most complicated way I
I'm
could
not even
possibly
tired,
explain
which is the
all
weird
Dolphin
thing. I
Julian
feel
being a fictional
completely
show.
fine,
Julian
and I slept
replaces
really
the
well.
king shark that the dolphins kidnapped with a warhead, which they sell to
It's a missile.
the Russians.
Make it go boom.
Comedic commentary.
Make the missile
this
go
show
boom.
is truly starting to remind me of
Make
Twin
it boom.
Peaks. That
Explode
Mort
the
dream
missile.
was mere foreshadowing of Exiled. Chapter 6 of 13.
Yes,
Mort
Rico.
furiously
Kaboom.
screams at Timo to open the freaking door. Apparently Sage was in an alien support group. I swear this show is building to something enormous. Commentary on charlatans, blah, 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 blah. Mort is hit with his own cannonball, scorched by a blowtorch, blown up
Mort
with a
shot
volume of
himself
TNT
with a
I would
cannonball.
calculate had I not been in a rush to get this out due to the
How?
upload scarcity at the moment.
This Mort
Scarcity
lore is
because
rough.
of this
Dude, it
show.
is.
I have
There's
done nothing
so-
else. No
there's
worry,
so
I'll be
much.
uploading a lot
It's
to make
insane.
up for lost time, because the one thing this show has been good for is ideas. In this episode, Julian
Sniff,
finds
is
that
that boy
Russian
smell,
space
smell.
monkey again, and so much here leads me
No,
to believe
there's no
that
boy
Mason
smell
and
here.
Phil were also rejected test subjects. Perhaps all the monkeys were, and these ones build a
Oh.
massive blimp similar to the plane in the film series. The other thing that crosses over from this show are the sky gods, which either do work by coincidence when Julian sacrifices the shark in film 2, or don't
Yeah, I need to
work
drink the
at
rest of
all
the rest of this
because they're
coffee.
not
Holy
on
cow.
Madagascar, and the gods seem to be localized physical pagan deities. Chapter 7. Mort gets inside Timo's pod and discovers he's been held hostage by his own security system, who gained sentience and has been pretending to be a strict mother. Clover is somehow given a paranormal nightmare from Sage's mentor, warning her to exit the
Whoa.
cult she joins and then deprograms. Yes, that has been a crucial plot point, and their seminars look like the Red Room from Twin Peaks. Back to
that's-
Mort, where this time
What?
Mort's head cranks a whole 360
Pardon me?
degrees.
Oh,
Owl Eye
shit.
says, that seems to be the limit as he cranks it right back.
What the
Chapter
fuck?
8. They reprogram the robot and it aids Mort and
What
Timo
was
on a
that
new
shit,
quest.
dude?
Apparently Hans, that zombie Mort keeps losing and finding
I
again,
did
and has
not
a true
like
love
that
for,
at all.
has his own zombie wife and 2 zombie children. It infuriates the wife when Mort recruits Hans, and he says, "Come on!
I'm mostly
I deserve it.
sawdust
I
and
can take
bird
it.
guano in
I'm
the
mostly
middle. Kick
sawdust
me.
and bird guano in the middle." Okay, just gonna add that to the list. Didn't show up on the genealogy test. Yep, Mort can certainly take that kick, immortal headass. Julian and Maurice are still trying to get back to stop Proto, and now they've encountered Fusa, who they turn on each other. The Fusa use electric saws, laser beams, automotive accidents, atomic and nuclear bombs, plane crashes, and Godzilla to fight one another, none of which we see outside of Julian's reaction to it. Sage's mentor swaps the minds of Clover and Sage so Clover can use his body to save the kingdom. Turns out it was probably another paranormal lucid dream. Outside of the mind space, he's a floppy
Right.
fish. The zombies suggest Mort gets his own army. Mort laughs evilly, transitioning us into Chapter 9, in which Mort downs
Mordecus
some
Con?
coffee, permitting Smart Mort to rip through and seize the assets of Mordecus Con. During transformations
yep,
like
I guess
this
he got his
one,
army.
Mort's body
Mort's
physically
part out?
doubles for
I
split
guess so,
seconds.
dude.
I wonder if Smart Mort is the original. He says, "You don't know how much it hurts me to be here. I'm just too smart." The mom robot questionably sings him a song about how if you're smart in life, suppress it, because the world loves stupid. This parallels exactly what I think Smart Mort did. Sort of like my theories on Patrick Star, he defends himself with a stupid alter ego he gained. Perhaps. Again, could be either or, as
see.
Mort himself isn't fully stupid either. The song is basically a hardcore satire on the concept of it's okay to be you. Contextually, this show actually makes some sense, sadly. It's not all fast-paced slapstick at all. Julian nearly is killed by Fusa, but claims it is plot armor that keeps him alive, and he does a matrix kick to perfection. Once Smart Mort enters Khan's universe, he disappears out of fear and leaves them all stranded amidst the army and a furious Mordecus. Carl appears to save the day somehow,
Mordecus is
and Maurice is
back,
kidnapped.
bro.
But everyone, you must know this. Chapter 10, Everything Ever, is explained. Holy hell is it ever. The show damn near ceased to be mysterious after this.
Interesting.
I didn't even know what I'm supposed to do. But look at the time. I simply cannot edit all of this, and I've yet again tested my video lengths way too hard. I have limits, but again, I will edit the third and final section of part 2. Mort is a weakling, wimpy, limp, and freaking shit. How dare he do what he has done? I'll relay his crimes in a format
The insults to Mort is
for I am
wild.
anonymous and
He comes up with the most
ominous. Now, he's
diabolical
out
chain
his
of
mind,
words,
but
dude.
the other Morts are not. His genetic code is shot, like the grandmother he fought, buried her in a well, and hell.
Didn't his grandma in the real world looking place say something about a well as well? Like the wishing well? Was it the wishing well or something else?
If he ain't a malicious and delicious little eldritch entity Lovecraft sent to me on the silver platter lined with horrific insanity, he deserves as few videos as possible. Unfortunately, I've succumbed to DreamWorks and their awful show. What the hell is wrong with me? Am I free? Even lost in the lore? Maybe. I mean, I'm on video 4.
Where's
He
going?
gets what he deserves, nothing less and nothing more, which is one measly attempted counter.
I would recommend watching the videos all the way to the end.
With the worst lemur,
Fair point.
sacrificial
I will keep that in
identified
mind.
him as their first lemur. Hell or high water, I will rip apart this night creature as his war crimes span the planet in this double feature roast. More fishy in his genes, are we surprised as it seems?
Oh my goodness,
an
he's
alien
still
from deep
going,
space where he
dude.
tastes sitting, eating Cheetos and Doritos
He's
and
still
his dipping
going.
chips, slouching in-house on a couch, throwing shade like an eclipse.
Oh man. Okay, the rap is over.
Everyone, you are now on part 4 of my theory on Mort from Madagascar. Make sure to click the link above now, which will allow you to see the videos as a playlist I've made, as intended. Technically, again, this is part 2, section 3, but the algorithm,
Part 2, section
part
3 is
4.
one.
For those who are prepared for the rest of All Hail King Julian, it is time. We are nearing the end of Exiles.
So how many
and here
views
we
does this
are,
video
at
have?
Probably the best
That's a
episode
lot.
in the whole series. One of the best animated kids TV episodes in recent and inexperienced memory. Carl claims to be responsible for Koto's conquest, but that's questionable. Julian blows up on another mine and appears back in limbo. The pineapple claims that this is, in fact, Frank Rilla, otherwise what the lemurs know as the heaven of the sky gods.
I
They
see.
tease if this is still
Spanish
all in
ads.
Julian's unconscious mind, but
Eminem
we
wishes
saw
he could be the
Clover's grandma,
theorizer.
unrelated to Julian. We know better. The fruits hold a divine trial and bring in all
Add
of the
croutons
dead
to that
characters
jury,
to
it's a
testify
salad.
against Julian. Someone's also there as a recurring joke who's actually still just alive. The fruits and veggies are focused on Madagascar as if it's the center of the universe. They are its gods. Julian returns to life eventually, and no
One
time
man
has
Eminem
passed,
was afraid
like
to
some
diss.
sort of heaven time dilation. Meanwhile, Maurice has been kidnapped by the
Oh.
underground bell gods.
You
Turns
don't
out the
be
bells
ridiculous.
are actually just snails in disguise who are terrified of the surface due to French cuisine. Apparently, they have a worldwide network of underground tunnels, and their leader is named Jingle Jangle. Maurice is the chosen one, but the bells he repeatedly forsakes until they manipulate him, and then he doesn't. But the most important plot of this episode
Wild.
is, of course, Mort, who has returned to the Mortverse. Mordecus claims to have been waiting 1,000 years for his battle with Mort, implying either time dilation or Mort's true age.
my neck.
He claims he's been searching since their last encounter.
Are
and
you
that
saying
both
you
he
and Mort are some kind of immortal?
are
Oh,
immortal,
well, we get this answer now.
multiversal conquerors. Mort has forgotten all of this somehow, and he asks if he missed the first act. Fourth wall break! Apparently, Mordecus wants to absorb Mort, just like Mort absorbed countless versions of himself from the countless universes, but forgot due to the consequences of
Dude, what is
interdimensional
going
travel.
on here at
These
this
are the
point?
personas in his mind. Brilliant. It makes him bloated, though, apparently. Mordecus mutilates the mom bot and claims there can only be one leader of the Mortverse.
Always the
Mordecus
French.
owns Mort in the most obscene ways possible. They enter the ring, and a wigged female Mort holds up the round signs. The Mort horde whistles in sensual approval. Mordecus sniffs Mort creepily and claims to smell his
I
soul.
smell your
Mordecus
essence.
wants
French.
Mort's endless absorbed spirits for
French.
himself, and Mort retaliates by
French
showing a
shrimp.
picture of the Foot constellation to entrance him. It's super ineffective. The feet are the only restraint on these otherwise
Oh,
anomalous
this rabbit.
immortal entities, and Mordecus overcame it. He
What
eats the
rabbit?
diagram. Mordecus threatens Julian's
Also,
spirit,
hello, Fox. I
enraging
mean, how's
Mort
it
while
going?
the army chants. Mort eats some dirt and vomits, slamming
your day's
Mordecus
going
into
well.
the portal machine, electrifying him to death and funneling his spirit into Mort. I do believe Mort has now absorbed everyone Mordecus had inside of him.
Whoa.
All of the multiverse Morts he absorbed. The portal
Interesting.
breaks. Chapter 11 is equally absurd, to be honest. You'll see. Julian starts it off by highlighting
what
how
the
he
heck
misses the
happened?
usual simple standalone stories. Mort bangs his head and it sounds like metal. Mort is aware of this madness. He calls the whole plotline, quote, totally freaking insane. You know
Yeah.
what else? Every single
Yep, I
character
would
in
agree
this
with
show
that
is implied to be
summation of the
Jewish and
words.
bisexual. It's a very specific sort of universe. Sage astral projects in a way that allows him to physically interact. Now without coffee,
Oh.
Timo uses the mom bot to hypnotize Mort with a laser, sending him into his subconscious where he can manually find smart Mort to fix the portal home. The first thing Mort observes when he enters his mind is that it's dark in here. You and me both, Mort. In various
Yeah.
rooms of this haunted mansion
Of course it's
of
dark in
mind,
Mort's
we
mind.
see a trampoline
Wait,
Mort,
that was a question?
Mort, twin Morts in diapers from The Shining.
There was never
a
any
Mort
doubt.
that crawls on the ceiling and cranks its head 180 degrees before
Is that
threatening
one
to
again?
eat him, so on. I think this is an owl
don't like that
spider
one.
Mort hybrid. I don't know. There's also a
I don't like
Spanish
that one
Mort
at all.
and the Mort from when he was in that
Jewish
butterfly
bisexual?
costume.
Is that really
I
what
don't
it
know what is
said?
what. That'll be for my actual theory videos on this topic.
Crazy,
They all
dude.
stalk him down the halls. He is chased by his own actions while terrifying circus music blares in the background. My question is, how far and wide has Mort been? This is quite a sophisticated human structure. A foot mansion. Maybe it's a good thing he's forgetful. Then his granny shows up. Just as Mort finds Smart Mort
She's here.
tied up, Smart Mort says, "The spider has ensnared the fly," as his grandmother enters the picture. Her plan
Interesting.
is to escape the creepy mind prison, take control of Mort's body, and replace him. I wonder where Mordecus is hiding in here. Clearly the granny's been here some time because she's mastered the arts of mental competence when she levitates and slams
The
the door on Mort.
hypnosis.
Smart Mort seems capable of anything,
Quirky.
but it's Mort who tries using his, quote, big think to will open the door, and does. Then Granny comes in with a spiked ball and chain containing a mine on the
Hypnosis
end.
is
Mort
interesting.
changes it.
Oh, dang.
And his grandmother accuses him of voodoo, which leads to the most epic Matrix parody anti-gravity inception battle
What
I've
is
ever
going
seen.
on?
Mort says the only one who gets to do weird stuff in his brain is him. They punch each other, changing gravity, as the granny rallies up dozens of other Morts to destroy him. Mort vomits a beam of pure light and seemingly annihilates all of the other spirits before
Whoa.
repurposing the mansion as a field in the Alps. They battle like two titans across a stormy sky before the granny calls him out for consuming
Okay.
her essence, and she
This
tries
is getting
melting him
wild
with X-ray
very
vision.
fast.
Mort spawns a deep wishing well and traps the cursed night creature at the bottom. With Smart Mort saved, the portal is fixed, and they escape with the Mort Horde. Despite now knowing what he is, Timo cries when he thinks Mort has died, calling him just a child. No, certainly not. Exiled Finale. Part
Oh
1.
boy.
Clover
And it only gets
projects
crazier.
and goes to
It
space
only
with
gets
her
crazier.
mentor, only to suddenly appear
Oh
in
my
similar
goodness.
Alps to Mort's mind, where she meets a butterfly that I theorize is the inner soul of Sage's hawk, or not. She finds Sage's soul, and together they possess his body and save Julian's life by destroying the execution machine. They expend massive levels of soul energy and punch Kodo with the power of ripping space-time. It's not enough. Then Carl reveals he has the most elaborate backup plan in known history when he reveals he built a space station which eclipses eclipses the sun and charges a laser to fry all of the mountain lemurs.
What?
It crashes into the moon and blows up. Then the Russian monkeys return. They crash into a volcano due to the oligarch dolphins. Then Mort shows up. Thousands of the horde rain from the sky portal and consume the enemy, while Maurice and his army of bell snails come from beneath and corner the mountain lemurs on all fronts. Turns out this was the war foretold by the leader of the bells. If you were to enter the show without seeing any episodes here, you'd wish for the end of humanity. No writer, sane or insane, should conjure such ideas. Todd seemingly cannibalizes the mountain lemurs when his mom screams to go after their jugulars. The 1,000 Morts are shot from crossbows and explode on impact. Sage drills down by meditating. The bell snails get Maurice to fart and summon the great Jingle Jangle through a portal from who knows where.
What is going
like 100
on?
feet tall or something. He gets hit with a tiny bit of salt and shrivels up completely. Wow. You know, I'm also shocked
that's
at how
a
much
massive
Maurice hates
snail, dude.
Julian in the films. What happens between them, if anything? Kodo nearly kills Julian, but Mort redirects the spear and pierces someone else's butt cheek. It is now the second half of Exiled's finale. Archaic war commentary abounds. Pineapple literally narrates it. He calls it the Battle of Booty Ridge. The soundtrack's been killer these past few episodes, and all the other kingdoms bow to Julian, and Mort claims without the feat his life would be twice as meaningless as it already is. Tammy snaps pics as Todd mauls the enemy some more. The tentacle comes back and kicks butt with his baseball bat, who appears from a portal in the sky spontaneously. They defeat Kodo, but he returns on a hawk and kidnaps Julian. Sage and he have a sky battle in which they hella slap each other and crash from hundreds of feet in the sky. Sage spares him, but Julian accidentally topples his statue and it crushes him to death. They blame Maurice. Mort goes for the feat thinking, quote, "This time will be different." Spoiler alert, it's not. Dude gets punted into next Tuesday. Gigi hooks up with the tentacle's dad. Clover and Sage nearly kiss, teasing an epic romance soon to be in a kid's show, but then they flat out zoom up and show Mort is making out with Zora right above them, aggressively. Intimately. They're married. All of the heaven ghosts show up and wave like at the end of Star Wars Episode 6, except Kodo appears like Anakin, and he didn't redeem himself.
What's going on?
And I haven't seen the Star Wars films. Everyone is happy, goes their separate ways. The Horde goes off to live on an island. The Russians cause an incident with their warhead. Julian humps the throne, and Mort calls it, quote, "one lucky chair." Exit stage exiled. On to the final season. Final season premiere. Mort gets kicked over yonder and claims he don't want to die this way. If he remembers any fragment of his full life, maybe then he can be killed, not just absorbed by similars? This episode thrusts one truth in our faces hard. The sky gods aren't hiding anymore. A huge 2D hand reaches from the heavens and gives Julian a keyboard infused with energy. Oh. Wait,
it's a dream.
Never mind. Julian's just dreaming. But would you
How much of this
honestly
didn't
blame
happen?
me for presuming otherwise? This also means Mort's statement about death is dubious. When Julian awakens, Mort relishes over him per the usual, and then lambasts Maurice for getting snail mucus on everything. Mort requests a technical toenail garden. I don't know what the hell that means. Mort has some feminine oviparity in his genome too, it would seem, as Zora demands that they reproduce, and he says he hasn't laid an egg in 40 years, and it hatched an abomination. Part bird. Tammy claims her son is woke. Sage spoons his hawk.
There's this thing again.
The second we get back to this episodic format, there's loads of social satire again. This time about criticism, safe spaces, forced positivity, and participation awards. A lemur screams at a cantaloupe, "What do you want from me?" I wonder if it's a heaven fruit. Alien music does play. Todd nearly dies. Again. Then I'm pretty sure he eats like half the population again. Mort advertises to children how
what
he
do you
will
mean
support
he ate
you
half
if
the
you rub his
population
belly
again?
and it'll cost ya. Purely disturbed. Julian feigns an NDE, and Mort cries, then snaps on some gloves, wiggles his fingers, and thirsts, as they say. Episode 2. They break the fourth wall by mocking a flashback. Propaganda commentary that devolves into insanity. Mort and Zora get freaky, if they weren't already. It was only a matter of time before they pulled a radioactivity joke on Mort, and here it is. He swims in a toxic watering hole and then glows green. He calls everyone neurotic, and then his teeth fall out. He then hops in a densely toxic pool and poisonous gas explodes from his orifices as he vomits brown tar before bubbling, transmutating into popcorn and screaming his skin off. He calls everyone overreactive as a skeleton, proving once again and for all that he has some bone structure. Maurice is an ancient aliens conspiracy theorist.
What did
So,
I just
episode
watch?
3, Julian has a nightmare
Bro,
about
what?
Todd being snatched by a monster. Apparently,
Nope,
it was
Todd's
somehow
gone again.
real. Tammy scared it off, but Todd was not left unscathed. Everyone automatically assumes Mort was the monster because, well, you know why at
Not
this
this
point.
time.
He sits in the corner of a creepy cave and says,
Oh, not
Whose skulls are
with his
those?
granny's wig on. At this point, he's
goodness,
just
dude.
embracing what he is, considering we know his granny is currently trapped down in the mind well. Todd's dad calls him, quote, a delusional little girl who sadly must be put down. Butterfish is his dad's name, and he is indescribably dumb in the best possible way. Everyone keeps accusing Mort of being a horrific and murderous night creature, and he even admits to having been cursed
I've had
many,
my
many
fair
times.
share of curses.
Julian's parents show up and admit they single-handedly repopulated the kingdom, answering the inbreeding questions from much
Oh,
earlier,
dear.
and also why everyone claims to be cousins in this show. His parents also then shatter the fourth wall when they criticize Julian for battling Kodo an entire season. Uncle King Julian walks in and calls his sister
Crazy.
Babe. Now they're just plain R-rated. LMFAO ho. We finally get a new, truly unique moment
Everything's so
from
prim
Mort
proper.
when he reveals something we
check.
didn't know yet. His descendants. He says to let Julian cry it all
why
out
is my
as it
bit
works
rate
on his
dead?
grandchildren. Instead of leaving it as an
Hold on.
off-
What the heck's going on? Why did my bitrate die? Caster Labs, what did you do? No, it's still there. Hold on, let me make sure everything's still running because I want to make sure you guys can still see everything. No, it's still going.
and
Okay.
comment, Maurice once again asks Mort
Let me
to
know if the
elaborate,
stream
to
quality
which Mort
drops at
immediately
all.
forgets he even
I'm trying to keep an eye on
mentioned
it.
them and panics, asking,
Sometimes
"How
it
did they
does.
escape? Don't let them find me!" He then shoots a
let
spider
what
web
find
and
you?
confirms he is indeed part spider
Huh.
as he hides on the ceiling. Clearly, whatever eggs he's hatched weren't just random things. They were characters who I'd like to meet, actually, and paired with his previous statement about dead butterflies, I bet they're spider babies. Julian keeps having dreams
Ew.
within dreams. This
No,
episode is packed.
please
my
don't.
God.
I don't
expected
want to meet
less
those,
after
actually.
The jaw dropper that was exiled, but nah. Turns out the lemur werewolf beast is Julian. Surprise, surprise. It attacks a
Oh, it
couple
was-
watching
it
Shining,
was.
in which Mort is the twin girls,
Huh.
like we saw in his mind, and Todd is Danny. They
Mm-hmm.
filmed this. Everyone keeps thinking Todd died, and his dad doesn't even recognize him, calling him a
Oh, this
random
rabbit
girl
hole.
again.
I
Later
misread
calls
that
him his
earlier.
stepdaughter. A statue seemingly blinks. I don't know how much longer I can ramble off the unexplained supernaturality of this
Is
show.
that Todd again? Or is
We're
that
almost
the
done.
other lemur
Mort
that was
breaks
near him
into a
earlier
creepy
during the contest?
situation just to say tick tock, tick tock. Mort promiscuously dances in a cage at a night party and says, "Hey boys." Even Julian's parents are
Wild.
appalled. Text superimposes itself in a spatially 4D manner. Nobody questions it, as it is post-productive editing. I'm seriously losing it here. Apparently, Julian's transformation is just a really bad milk allergy. Okay. Episode 4. Todd's dead eyes are brought up. Maurice gets money for dancing, and even admits that the only reason he's loved by anyone is for his thick booty.
Bro.
Which Julian promptly slaps.
What?
They show Maurice a picture of a hyper-realistic cat, so he'll cry
my
and overload
goodness,
a robot's
man.
emotional apperception. This episode has a whack timeline, and Mort claims to have been trapped in a pie for
What
years.
is this fever
Then he
dream
dives
of
into a
a
volcano in the name of Julian.
show, dude?
This whole
Oh
episode
my
was a
goodness.
story Julian made up, but again, like all Madagascar metafictions, it could all be true, and no eyes would nor should be
Unbelievable.
batted. But then at the last second, Mort reveals he's a robot. A joke, a thriller
What?
cliffhanger. Episode 5. Mort sniffs a new chick, and Julian hires Todd to be the cool kid in his entourage. Tammy cries. Butterfish eats his fingers. Julian claims Todd is 3 days old. Julian is not like Mort.
Well,
Julian
that
is
doesn't make any
hyperbolic.
sense. Todd-
Therefore,
Todd's
Todd
definitely
is most
older
likely
than
not
that.
3 days old. Mort is fired for the sake of Todd's position, and Mort screams bloody ageists as he's evicted from the room. Todd is in danger. Mort goes off the deep
Indeed.
end of villainy, and Zora's still all like, huh? You see, Mort takes advantage of Tammy's anguish and steals Todd's identity. Social media and statistical commentary this episode interspersed with overt jokes. Mort's
He's
baby
terrifying,
identity is
Tammy.
sort of back, but this time he's pure malice. And indeed, here we get confirmation that all of Mort's alters are still alive and well, even after he light vomited on them. Todd briefly comes home to grab his toothbrush, and we get probably the most 180-degree scene from the sorts of things Mort does in the films. People who haven't seen this show still think Mort is a helpless little baby. Show them
he is
this.
definitely
Mort
not.
mimics Todd to a T and then evilly growls,
You made your
I
bed,
do remember
loser,
seeing
and I'm
this clip.
laying in it.
Mort holds Todd's family hostage with the sheer grit and uncanny horror of Tammy
remember
knowing
seeing
something's
that.
wrong with her son, but being too terrified to act upon that pit in her stomach. Mort is exploiting this devastated fear Tammy has, and it is high-octane
Goodness, I
nightmare
forgot
fuel.
about
He
that.
seduces
Wow.
Tammy and brushes her with his tail. And the scary part of this is that Mort is intentionally honing the creepiness he's absorbed from his immortal lifespan. Todd says, "Come at me, bro!" And Mort threatens to rip off his face. Oh, this episode has this kingdom
That's
thief lady,
wild.
and I immediately thought it was that con woman from a few seasons ago. Turns out it was true. See, you learn how to predict the unpredictable after a while of enduring this. It conditions you. Episode 6, Julian slaps Butterfish and he giggles like a geisha for some what the f- out of character reason. Julian releases tea to the world like he did coffee so long ago, and Mort uproots everyone in the line, downs the whole drink, and then chomps the ceramic cup down as well. We know what coffee does to him, so what does tea do? Well, he screams in pain and then
It's
jets
a
up
hippie.
with 60s glasses and an absolute hippie demeanor. He wears a flower necklace and leads a cult, all what with his "Am I okay?
Another cult.
I be reduced to 2 letters?
and his
Society programs us like a robot escaping the mannequin factory.
This would be mythical and shocking, but we know exactly what is happening here. It's just one of the absorbed souls being metabolically triggered, like Smart Mort. They plan to tranquilize
See.
Mort if he gets even an ounce weirder. Honestly, at this point, the writers could do anything with Mort, and I'd accept it. So let's just go with the assumption that literally anything can happen to him. An infinitely variable Schrodinger scenario. Carl appears
Also, I
in
just
Julian's
realized here
bed
that
and
some of
says
the
that he
Porker
has a
emotes split
proposition
between like
for
light and
him.
dark mode.
The
That's
characters
cool.
in this show are
That is
apparently
awesome.
endless, as Carl's brother then enters the
Oh,
picture
Carl's
as a bully
back.
who befriends the Russian dolphin
Carl,
jocks.
that kills
But Carl's
people.
brother does teach Julian about human culture, which is something he also needed knowledge of ever since learning of their existence in order to make him the character we know in film, and more importantly, in the other spin-off. Corporate and drug commentary. The tea is banned. Mort resorts to coffee,
The
thus
tea
bringing
got
out you
banned
know
again.
who.
Of
Clover
course.
pretends to be an international businessman with a mustache, and Carl's brother says, "Big Daddy likes a solid 7 chick with a nice bushy flavor saver under her nose." What? What?
Why, Barry? Why was I pinged in the short bus?
Mort acts as a distraction during
What
a
did you
heist
do?
by posing as a mermaid. Are we surprised? No. He's wearing the granny wig. Carl takes credit for another manipulation. Shocker. Episode 7. Julian threatens to harm Mort, which Mort loves the idea of. Timo's robot censors Timo and says there could be children watching. The ever-increasing
I see what
fourth
you
wall
did,
breaks
Barry.
aren't
I
what
see
get
what
me,
you
though.
did, you little
It's that
shit.
she said there could be children watching, which means it's not the target audience. It all makes sense now. Mort downs a bunch of luminescent goop. Mort might be part plant. Mort sleeps in Zora's fat rolls. Mort approaches Julian and says, quote, he alters his DNA.
At least you
Everyone
did
thinks
tell her
Mort
that it
is
was somebody
dead,
else that
and Mort's
bought
first
it.
words are dibs on his hut. Pineapple
You're
breaks the
not
fourth
gonna make
wall
me wear
as a
them,
huge
though.
mango
It's
grows and
not gonna
starts
happen.
talking. Maurice
They're
hates
getting
Julian for
refunded
blame
as soon
shifting.
as I
Mort
can.
beats up the jumbo mango. 2 crocodiles fall on each other and say, "Lick
You
my body,
did
your
not
pillow."
do
Mort knows
nothing.
how cell phones work. The intelligent mango absorbs everyone's minds and heads for the mainland, so Timo calls the supply company of the luminescent goop that created it, and they immediately nuke it in the middle of the ocean. Episode 8, Mort says he's the smartest lemur in the world, which we know is true in many ways. We know sky gods are real in Madagascar, but apparently their lore
Also,
entails
Barry,
Julian
Seal
the
met
First as
Chris
being the
Chan?
first lemur
That's
who demanded
crazy.
the gods create more. This lore was structured by King Julian the Terrible, so take
Why
it
do I
all
have
with a grain
2
of
other
salt.
pings
They
in
flip
this
through
clip,
this
though?
book of lore, and Mort finds his page He's in the history section as Adam, and a female Mort next to him is Eve. Clearly this book is all whacked. It has to be, because Granny Mort was his grandma. Unless she was just another multiverse version of Mort who took on the role as his grandma. Still not clear on
She
how
was
he
just
absorbs
another
the species
version
from
of
any
Mort?
universe or
Oh,
just
boy.
variants of himself. I don't know. But this book
How
is
freaking
next.
old are you?
Julian too
They
is
have to
terrified
ask
and asks
again.
how freaking old Mort truly is. Answer. If Mort was an interdimensional conqueror in some forgotten lifetime, similarly to Mordecus Khan, and he remembered
you
his
see,
granny
I
from 50
fell and
years ago,
accidentally
but couldn't
typed
remember
that.
absorbing
Liar!
power, and perhaps his life as a pirate, then how old? His timeline
my
is all over
goodness.
the
I'll have
place,
to see if
but
I
let's
can.
just assume
Is Pippi
that
live
he's
at all?
thousands
I
or
might see if I
millions of
can
years
read
old.
out to her later.
He's a Goodman's mouse lemur on
to
the
add her.
outside, but inside he's added some genome elements. Mouse lemurs evolved 9 million years ago, so there's our limit considering his basis and alleged role as the Adam of his species. No wonder he has a self-erasing memory. Infinite lifetime. Education system commentary. Todd is a child prodigy with a photographic memory. Mort wants to be a trophy wife for Julian and has his name engraved on him. Todd has PTSD and lives in crippling fear of his mother's screams. Mort poses as Todd in an academic competition, and Smart Mort takes the reins from the inside of his subconscious, or at least he tries to, but is convinced by the other spirits to do otherwise. Todd's demon comes out again when his head cranks 180 degrees and he mauls his kidnapper. Episode 9, they hold an election for a small ranking
He's
position
mauling
in the
everybody,
kingdom, and Mort is
apparently.
supposed to fail on purpose. Well, the show literally plays a scare chord as it zooms into Mort's head and shows that there is a whole council of political Morts inside of his mind mansion. The most extremist one, responsible for previously nuking something, locks the others up and takes control of Mort's body. We finally see this possession process. Political Mort then steals the election by hiding in Zora's She-Mountain pouch and saying cunningly persuasive things like, "You need the Mort. You want the Mort.
You want the
inside
Mort?
you, whisper
What?
Mort.
Political Mort uses persuasion tactics
What
like
is
saying his
going
opponent,
on,
Maurice,
bro?
is in bed with the Fusa and doesn't believe in the Sky Gods. Commentary. Everyone starts to love this Mort, so he tests their faith by blabbering gibberish on stage, and sure enough, they consider it genius somehow. He does this for 10 days in a row. They're voting for the position of mango manager or something, and while everyone watches Mort do a toilet dance, fruit flies eat all of the fruit and
Ew.
kidnap the kingdom to lay their larvae. The other spirits break free and subdue
What's up with
political
the
Mort
fruit
before
flies?
sending Chainsaw Mort into Mort's mental control room to saw himself free of the fruit flies. Maurice farts to kill the flies, and the subtitles read sustained flatulence.
What is
Very
with
few
the
children will watch the
farts, dude?
subtitles, but I do, and whomever
It's-
writes these
dude, it's
knows
all
what's
the
up.
farts.
Mort later
What the-
vomits up
what the
thousands
heck?
of dead flies and then
Okay,
becomes a
are the
giant one and
producers
flies
just
away.
huffing
Now he's
farts?
part
Is that
fly.
what's going on?
Eating mass quantities alters his genome.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
how.
They lock the
Mort
writers in a room,
is
they
Kirby.
by themselves
Also
with no light
explains
till
the
they
black
finish
hole
the
that is
series.
his stomach. I'll go in more
Probably.
detail later, but I'm almost certain that Mort, is like Kirby and has a pocket dimension inside of him. Episode
my
10.
word,
Carl
man.
and his bug moved to Florida, but not before setting up a Willy Wonka tour of his lair to have someone replace him as, quote, the great evil. Meanwhile, Mort's grandpa shows up, and Mort remembers him
dear.
from when he and his siblings were babies celebrating Hanukkah. See, Mort may be the OG, but he isn't the oldest. I don't even know how that works, but it does. This is Grammy's hubby, too. He's a convict. Once in Carl's tour, they even parody
Tubby.
Wonka's subtle creepiness, just like I always do. Grandpa Mort was imprisoned, and Mort responds by describing how his voices get mad when he can't remember committing terrible crimes. Grandpa Mort implies all Morts are meant to be incredible forces of evil. Mort says he constantly has near fatal levels of water retention. Regardless, Mort drinks an ocean and barfs up 1/1000,000 of a percent of it later on. His
They
stomach
were
is
having
the
something,
pocket
that's for
dimension
sure.
mansion. Grandpa
Yeah.
Mort says evil's in their family's blood, which is why they inhale essences. Clearly, Mort forgot all of this as a coping mechanism to evade villainy, which reminds me of ABC's Fringe. Apparently, it was King Julian IV who locked Mort's grandpa away, and our Julian, Seven Greats grandson the
Interesting.
13th, is going to pay for it. Mort is a wild collective soul jar soup, and his grandpa wants to enter the absorption too. He begs for Mort's evil, and when it's denied, he absorbs Mort himself. Mort is apparently
Whoa.
too powerful
Okay.
and stupid at this point, and it blows his grandpa up. Mort nearly dies in the process, and Julian yet again screams, "He's just a child!" as he punches Mort a la bootleg CPR. Carl enters, and Julian sighs, "We've already reached the climax. Mort keeps dying and resurrecting, and I'd like to see what the hell is happening from his
Dude,
mansion's
what is
perspective."
going on?
Carl reveals it was all a setup, and then pulls out Moon Laser
This is
2.0
breaking
to
my
wipe
brain.
Madagascar off the map, but Julian was always prepared to take advantage of Carl's laser obsession and finally defeats him. More Maurice emotion mockery. Episode 11. Mort swallows a mine whole and blows up. The whole security system just so happens to land on the beach. Clearly a trap, but this is normal for the show too. Surveillance commentary ensues. Todd is arrested for a fashion faux pas. Prison commentary ensues. The episode is a musical. More Willy Wonka parodies. An episode too late. Someone
Another
watched it
prison.
the night before and it
Of course.
influenced their screenwriting, I swear. Mort is back on them ancient aliens. The whole kingdom is imprisoned. Tammy is the boss around these parts, if you know what I mean. Mort is
Tammy's
verbally
the boss
stated to be
again?
virtually indestructible.
Wasn't she a guard in
Apparently,
the
Mort
last
never
one, too?
writes anything down because it can be used against him in court. Someone's been writing letters to Zora in prison, and it turns out to be Julian's uncle again, who's also behind the surveillance trap. He's fallen in love with Zora, though. Uncle Julian
Remember
says he
how
spent
long
so
this
many
whole thing is?
seasons
There's
searching,
so much
and
more.
finally found true
Oh my
love.
goodness.
How
Yeah.
does Mort,
Yeah,
her
there's
husband,
so
react
much.
to this?
So much
He
more.
straight don't give a shit. He's all like, dodge that bullet. Oh, the savagery. And so here we are, series finale, part 1. This episode is called The End is Near, and part 2 is called The End is Here. Fourth wall. Clover's gonna marry Sage, and Maurice says 5 seasons of romantic tension is more than enough. First, Mort gives marriage advice. He then suggests they lock Clover away until she forgets him. Clover's grandma, the one that proved the supernatural
crazy.
exists in this show, speaks to Clover from the sky god heaven when Sage marries Crimson instead. Clover undoes this and takes him for herself. They once again mock how Exiled was a season long. Mort suddenly reveals another new ability, which is apparently partial consciousness transference. He calls Hector an old man again, this
What?
time without speaking, and Hector hears him. Mort can read and write minds, which we've seen before. Must be a consequence of spiritual proprioception. Episode 13, the final episode, part 2, whatever
Bro,
you want to
what?
call it, is the end. Oh, thank God. It's been
It's
weeks,
still ongoing.
months from my perspective,
Unbelievable.
only an hour and a half for you guys. Mort keeps dozens of tombstones on standby in his house. He
I'd
also
rather
claims
wear a
he
skirt
himself
than
has been in
experience
jail
this
for a
again. I
large
ain't
amount of
going to
time in
wear
the
a
past.
skirt
He has moments
than
where he
experience.
remembers and then doesn't question why he forgets later. Gigi says she hasn't seen many of the guests at Clover's wedding in multiple seasons. Get your fourth wall head-ass asses out of here. There's a banana meme lord. Heaven fruit guarantee. And you know what Mort's last words are in this show? I hope Clover and Sage last longer than my 12 marriages. Of course, most of my wives died of old age. We end where we began. Every character that ever died is partying with the fruits up in heaven, and then Alex the lion washes up in his box on the beach. Surprisingly, before my theories, my only question now is, does Mort include Zora or Pam in that wife count? He never formally divorced Zora
That's a
or
great
was ever
question.
legally married to Pam, but we know he
Oh,
has
my
kids and
word.
grandkids, so does it really matter? We never met his parents either. Absorbed guarantee. There is more, such as tying it into grander theories, but I did already get some of the big ideas I have out here. I'll recap them and discuss them and assimilate them later, of course. But before we do that, we still have to do Pal of the Penguins of Madagascar, which is going to be almost as long. Give me a month or something
Oh
like
dear,
a break. I need
what
to
is
do
at the
other
end of
theories.
this
My
one?
God, I feel so bad for the people who don't actually want to watch these Mort theories. The Bee Movie and Kung Fu Panda can also tie in here
pities
with
you,
animal
Albert.
intelligence, and that'll be
Accidentally
later.
put man
Loose
experience
thoughts.
twice. That's how
Morticus
fried my
sounds
brain is.
like Mort's home planet, Footicus.
I
And if
feel ya.
Mort really
My brain is
Metallica
dying.
inside, it makes sense
I
why he
can't
evolved
understand
in
half of
film
this.
1 when Maurice said the Zoo Gang was there for their precious metals. I'll discuss this more in the theory too, but in Madagascar 3, maybe Mort is implying a little more when he says, "My tummy is
man.
speaking to me." Kirby headass. For now, subscribe. Part 2 has rapidly, as you can
Kirby
see, become
headass.
parts 3 and 4 as well, bumping us up to a 17-part series now. If this keeps happening, again, this is why I estimated a total of
Oh my
25 parts.
dear
Who knows
Lord.
what the future holds in regards to the next videos. I'm sure my evidence delve into the Penguins TV show will take a couple videos, but I foresee it being an easier task somehow. It will be next whenever it will be.
Well, yeah,
Make
because
sure
Mort
to
doesn't show
subscribe
up.
so you don't miss the next leg of
I don't
this
think he
Mort
does in
theory,
the Penguins.
because once we finish all this evidence, we get to the answers not provided, the truth of where he's from and what he is. A unifying theory of Mort, because everything can fit together into one
this is gonna
massive
take
story.
a couple streams.
And once we solve Mort, then we get to the next chunk of this 25-part behemoth.
Dear
We
Lord.
move on to the next film, and we create our DreamWorks timeline.
The next
centered
Mort video that he's
around
working on is
Mort the
looking
Lemur.
to end up
Follow
being
my Twitter
over
at
an
the
hour
Theorizer
long, but it's
YT,
taking so
and
long
turn
to
on
get done since
notifications
he's
here
very
while
sick.
you watch my other
Oof.
animated theories in the meantime.
If you get some sort
Those
of
ones
reward
are
for making
mind-blowing.
it this
This
far,
has just been an
I'm
evidence film. I
suffering
haven't
here
actually done any
too.
critical thinking
Okay.
yet. I don't know
We're
why you guys
suffering
love
this
this so
together.
much. And until then, everybody,
Oh dear.
I'm exhausted, but still the Theorizer. Mort is stupid, I am not. Bootleg SCP as thought. Take him down, get him gone. Backhand him like Morty Khan. Peasants don't get presents, they get roasted like a pheasant. Madagascar's worse, with this curse remaining alive and perverse. Evil, rotten, horrifying. Intel lacking, mortifying. Piece of shit anomaly.
I
will
can't.
Mort is a weakling. Wimpy, limp, and freaking shit.
No,
How dare
no
he
more.
do what
Okay,
he
no,
has
no,
done.
no, 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 no. We're going to 5. We're going to 5. I can't take any more of the rapping. I can't take it with any more of the rap. Mort's making him sick. Dude, at this point, it might be.
Okay.
There's
fine.
there's
I
the
admit
Chris Chan
it was an
curse.
April
This guy
Fool's
has the
joke.
Mort curse, okay?
I do not actually think that Mort is from another planet in the universe. The truth is,
Albert,
I actually think
Albert,
he's from another
take-
planet in a
if I lean
different
over far
universe,
enough,
not only unrestrained
take a
regarding
look
the fourth and fifth dimensions,
at
but
how
the
much
sixth
is
as well.
left.
He
We
is not
are
a
on
timeline or a mirror
5
world or a
out of
kaleidoscopic
28.
multiverse. He is more. He is an
There's
anomalous
so
hellspawn,
much
more
more.
realistic and horrific than your
There's
microscopic imagination
so
can fathom, and his timeless
much more.
soul jar of a pocket-dimensional stomach is expressly entangled with only the most extant of the quantum foam.
We're not getting through this in one stream.
Mort is everything. This is completely legitimate. He simply
Oh,
is.
goodness.
This is no joke.
Oh, that's my ears. That's a creepy Mort. Don't like that. Oh, Miss Puff again. Oh, I don't like that picture, dude. Ugh. No.
Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and sorry for that teaser in the cold open, but so many of you still somehow think this is an April Fool's joke, so I had to bait you. I
I'm running
to
to your location right now because of this.
As opposed to this collective
Dude, if
endeavor
you
assume
find
I
me,
was referencing.
go ahead,
Must
turn
feel
off the
like quite
computer.
peasant
That's
child
fine,
pufferfish.
but
Now
you gotta
get your
find
heads
me
in the game,
first.
Because we're finally on the last stretch of evidence. The Penguins TV show. Here's the thing.
We're suffering
Mort
this
appears in
together.
Every episode of All Hail King Julian, but not every episode.
How dare you
of
skip the
Penguins.
roast.
Thus, I googled Andy Richter's IMDb page and highlighted.
I can't
every episode
handle
he appears
like
in.
record.
That should, for the
It's
most
too
part, be
much.
satisfactory, but it will be a focus shift for only the time being. He appears in, I think, most episodes anyways, and I've seen the show before, so I know the general plot. It's basically sometime after the first film, with the penguins and lemurs living in the Central Park Zoo. In most of his appearances,
Oh,
he's
this is
just
one
the
of the
usual
songs he's written.
subservient,
Interesting.
cognitively dissonant Mort. Example, he says, "I don't like drowning," but once again he then falls into the water and doesn't drown. In this show, though, Julian uses him as an object a lot more, such as a footrest or stuff like that. Let's vet. In Operation Plush and Cover, the zoo's visitors are consumed with purchasing the new Mort plushies because they're cute. There's then a recall, and the actual Mort gets swept along and returned to the factory to be burned. This factory is generally pretty hellish, like something out of Saw. It uses incredibly deadly weaponry to break recall toys. Maybe some of them were possessed. I only kid, but seriously, they even
Yeah,
point
no,
out
they
how
were
sick and
totally
twisted
possessed.
This assembly line is. Mort is more
It's not an if. It's not a maybe. They were possessed. There's no shot they weren't.
incompetent in this show, like he's developed more memory loss and a dependency on Julian. I can't mention all of the collateral weirdness because Mort is more of a side character here, and thus I'm not watching the show as thoroughly. But apparently Julian has a holiday dedicated to himself, and it makes him angry and obsessive when not celebrated. I'm telling you, the reason this is
1203
taking so
Model
long is
Plain,
because I
Rhode
just
Island,
sifted
United
through
States,
hours
America.
upon hours of
Nope.
episodes that have nothing relevant to Mort. But from what I have
Not a
gathered,
real place,
that
it's a
the crucial
mod.
element that this show hammers home is not the insane number of absorbed souls or the
I assume for
shady
The
alien
Sims.
mystery. It's his general moral inconsistency. But one main consistency, of course, the feet. In what I think is his first truly centric episode, 2 Feet High and Rising, Mort shows us that it's still the same old him. In this episode, Julian outlaws people touching his feet, and Mort is crestfallen and grief-stricken. He obsesses over them in his dreams, and he gravitates towards them during bouts of sleepwalking.
I was pinged in the
He
memes
chains
channel.
himself to
Why?
a tree and wakes up finding that the
I don't
tree has
see
been
a
ripped
ping.
out of the ground and
Where'd
he's
it
on the
go?
feet again. Julian exiles
How
him,
worse can
and
it
he
get on
panics,
that
drawing feet
video?
everywhere, short-circuiting. The penguins, bless their competent ass souls, try shocking him, putting him through therapy, among other things, and every time they try conditioning Mort away from the feet, he starts malfunctioning. Private analyzes him and determines that Mort has
No, I said
associated
mod
feet
because I was
with
talking
love.
to the stream
We
mod.
know it's an addiction, though, not love. We've seen the other show. They overload his
That's fair.
senses with a
Just gotta
completely
make sure.
disgusting boot, and it conditions him away from feet completely, to the point where
308
it obsessively
Negro.
destroys them. This tells me that
Arroyo
Mort's
Lane,
problem isn't with
Albuquerque,
feet,
New
but
Mexico.
rather with an
Is that a
all-or-nothing
Breaking
sort
Bad
of
reference or
obsessive
something?
attitude. He develops a podophobia. He's also very, very strong in this show, somewhat similarly to
What is
All Hail King Julian.
podophobia? Hold on. It's a fear of pot or marijuana.
Long story short, the conditioning is quickly undone. Next time he gets the chance, he grapples onto Julian's feet and starts panting.
Rhode Island is
vibrating
not a
and
real
shaking
place.
Violently. He claims to
Ohio
like
is not a
basically
real
everything,
place.
but that positive mindset is not wholly conducive to sanity. He claims to be puffy and complicated. I'm skipping around a bit here, so by the end, if there's anything I've missed, you must comment it. I'll speedrun the analysis during the beginning of the
Maybe.
theory segments, and there is, some consistency too, like how Mort recognizes characters and animals from the
Oh,
other show.
it was.
episode
I
Kingdom
do remember
Come,
that.
Julian and Maury-
That's the address of the guy in the Breaking Bad show that Jesse goes and kills.
eat bad lychee nuts and they lose their minds.
Funny
They're
because
cured
I've not
later,
even seen
and the
Breaking
episode
Bad, I've
ends
just
with
seen
Mort
clips.
doing the exact same thing. Cut to black. I guarantee it doesn't even make a dent in the madness he already contains. In the next few episodes, we see some more oddities, such as Rico's pocket universe stomach. Funny enough, they send Mort in there to fix things. Another character with a pocket universe stomach. I must say there's an ounce of consistency in one way or another, as Julian says he was always picked last for sports in another episode, which parallels All Hail King Julian, where they explain he was always picked first, but only because he was prince and people wanted popularity. Semi-continuity. Which parallels how I am once again starting to think that this is a parallel universe. Mort gets squished constantly in this show, like completely flattened.
Texas is the
Then
only
comes the
real
most
place in the
memorable
whole
episode
world.
of the
Everything
show,
else is
Mort
fake, made up by
uncovers
big
his
cactus.
second-centric episode. Mort gets super strength after accidentally landing in Kowalski's experiment, and he has the power to crush through steel. He's like mountain lemur-sized-ish. He steals food for
Oh,
Julian
yeah,
by
the mountain
feeding
lemurs, I forgot about those.
gorillas and elephants
take
and
my
kangaroos.
shoes off, they're hurting.
When he is denied,
Ow, he
a
just
meal
triggered every
banana,
Breaking
then
Bad fan.
He turns on Julian for
Texas
the
is the
first
only
time in forever and
real
rises
place in
up.
the world,
Kowalski's science
in the
has
whole
either
world,
brought out
everything
one of
else is
the
fake,
dormant
made up by
spirits, or
big
it's
Texas,
transformed
or
Mort
cactus.
into his idyllic state, a trans-dimensional titan. He growls like a caveman and takes Julian's feet by force.
Oh.
Private enlarges himself to give Mort the antidote, and Mort is sad, revealing that
Imagine
he's just
only seeing the
Mort,
show
who's
through
merely
clips couldn't be me.
disgruntled, radicalized by
I just
years of
can't be bothered
servitude.
for the
He
normie
wants
slop,
back
dude.
his power. Private also starts to like the strength though too, so who knows? Well, I will when we get to the theory. Things start to get more specific from here on out. Less starring, more dedicated recurring. Mort freezes into a block of ice, but is fine.
And yes, I
Obviously,
called Breaking
Julian
Bad
is
normie
medically
slop.
confirmed
It is.
to be stupid. Mort is used as a wrench, and his head cranks something like 2,800 degrees. The zookeeper Alice is suspicious of the penguin's intelligence, which is a presumably unimportant but collectively crucial factor. Mort apparently only
penguins
eats
are
one cherry in
ridiculously
his whole
smart.
food supply and claims to be ever so lightly used. He obviously can eat more, such as chow mein
What?
in a prior episode, or some of the madness from All Hail King
Uh-huh.
Julian, but the point about his
Strange.
metabolism still stands. I'm missing out on a lot of the penguin's dynamics by skipping through this show.
Yes,
But
I
again, I've
did,
seen
Barry.
lots of it in the past. I know
Yes,
the
I
general
did.
plot lines, and Mort is the only
Because it
one who I need
is.
explicit
Breaking Bad is normie slop. It is. Okay. It absolutely is. I bet he thinks Walter White is Heisenberg. No, Lord of the Rings is not normie slop. A normie cannot handle Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is too dense. Okay? There's too much going on for normies to properly be able to get a handle on it, and it's too long for them to be able to sit down and deal with it. Breaking Bad is broken into little bits. It's all spread out and in a stupidly digestible format specifically for the normie audience. Okay? Breaking Bad is normie slop. It just is. And you cannot convince me otherwise. I will not be convinced.
Consistency regarding, for now. In his next centric episode,
Lord of the Rings
Mort
is not,
falls
though.
through a
It's
hole
well
and his
done.
skull fractures
It's
on the
actually well made,
concrete,
and
causing the
like I said, Lord of the Rings is dense, it's long, and still that dense. Normies cannot sit there and handle it. They can't. Because normie brains can't deal with that. They short circuit, and they move on to the next thing.
penguins to determine that Mort
I
cannot
actually
feel
have
pain,
not
but is too
seen
dumb to
Reincarnated
follow
as
any
a slime.
instructions. They study him, and thank God for that, because Kowalski discovers that Mort is invulnerable due to a halo of ignorance.
Breaking Bad's quality
He
is
physically
debatable.
self-actualizes his ignorance, and it prevents him from being harmed. His will is the universe's will. To do a dangerous job, the penguins attempt to remove all painful or likewise intelligent thoughts from their heads to try and replicate Mort's condition, but it just makes them completely oblivious to everything, including pain, whereas Mort is not quite that, as we well know. The penguins also fixate on the feet. Upon this intellectual decrease, prompting Mort to vow vengeance and scream at the heavens, invoking lightning.
Mort looks so
He uses
weird
the
in this
machine on
section.
penguins again, causing them to regain awareness before he attacks their enemy himself, and defeats it. Kowalski then drops a bomb on us when he proclaims, "Truly his powers are too mighty for mere mortals." This is so crucial because it confirms
I seem to have
that
angered
these
the berry.
producers knew what they were doing. Penguins was made long before All Hail King Julian, and here they are still touting immortality, consistency, intention, terror. Mort keeps eating glue, so on
It's
and
just
so
my
forth.
opinion,
He's an
Barry.
honest-to-God
And I won't be convinced
self-saboteur.
otherwise.
He can, as we know, detect stupidity and
Cole
insanity
posting
in
live on
others,
air.
meaning he ain't.
Look, I've explained my reasoning. I have my reasons to believe it. I don't it like I said, Breaking Bad is just it's so spread apart to be explicitly digestible to the normie audience. There's some good bits, but not much. It's very much like with anime, where you've got the like shonen slop, where it's just constant action of some sort, and that's all they can handle because it's low digestibility. That's what I mean.
He survives electrocution and tries ripping out his own jaw. His
Breaking Bad uses that formula, spreads it out a little bit, so it's adjustable by normies, and then like that's just how it is. That's what it is.
Claims it's a little cold. A satellite explodes next to him with the energy of an enormous bomb, and it just flings him back to Earth, where he's of course fine. Also, we
you
see the
actually
effects
see
of
a
this
person
satellite
here.
explosion when a man's
That looks like the snowball dog from freaking Rick and Morty clips that I've seen.
TV is cut off. He has a framed image of Nana's Mr. Chew on his wall. Is this man a Dubois? I suppose I'm missing important details like this in my analytical skimming, but I can always return once we move on to the DreamWorks timeline segment of this mega theory. Things like this, and other recurrent details I've mentioned. Mort yet again claims to know what he tastes like, proving more consistency, and yes, still, that he's eaten himself. In the season 1 finale,
What do you
lies
mean
about
Mort has
Julian's
eaten
kidnapping
himself?
so that he can caress the feet of his robotic replacement. He finally gives in, and we learn that Skipper's arch nemesis Dr. Blowhole has kidnapped Julian. Mort starts to go insane without the real feet, and he gets this raspy, whispering, aggressive voice. He runs miles and saves the penguins right as they're about to be defeated by hijacking the evil computer and hacking the laboratory. Yay. On to season 2. Mort is mortified due to having a tail. His head makes thumping noises. The hell does that that mean? Then we get one of
What?
the most memorable shots from this show. One of those shots so confounding that it sort of encapsulates why I'm doing this. Mort is either luck embodied or his will is known to the universe. Later, he is crushed several times, and we almost get to see his presumed feet dreams. He doesn't know the difference between sheep and roosters, he shoves sliced onion halves into his eyes, and he has a frictional coefficient of 0. Self-aware
Ouch.
jokes everywhere, Mort becomes team
We
leader
all
and uses
technically
his
know
position
what
of
we
power to
taste
massage
like.
Julian's butt with a tooth.
That's
Kowalski's head ass is
strange,
relatable
but
head ass.
probably
Mort
true.
has no regard for continuity. He's the one character who constantly disappears in one shot and reappears in another, but I'm not sure what to make of that.
That he
Mort
does.
mocks Maurice, semi-continuity. Mort praises his job security. Julian gets nuked by Rico. Mort relishes in the scent of fear and eats his mango neighbors, semi-continuity. Kowalski points out Mort's Latin death. Mort gets eaten by a snake and tries chewing a penny. Apparently the fountain in the middle of the zoo is a wishing well and everyone starts
Another
getting
song
things
he
from
wrote.
its
It's
sky-god
good.
migration. I'm not sure. Magic comes later in these theories. Alice, the suspicious zookeeper, wishes she knew what the penguins were really up to, and the wish comes true, revealing that
Oh,
later to
wow.
her. She calls on the government to apprehend them and study animal-human interrelations. I seriously need to come back to this show.
I wonder what Arden tastes like. I saw that berry.
Because it will come
You
supremely
thought
in
I
handy
wouldn't
when
see
discuss
it?
the magic
Did you think I wouldn't see Barry? I am always watching. I saw it. What do you mean you want to know what I taste like? Sir, excuse me? Did you think that would escape my notice? I saw that.
and animal intelligence of the two
You
Mortals.
can't
I'm
delete
lying
it
now.
fast
I'll
enough.
probably also have to rewatch the Kung Fu Panda
And I can probably
shows
see it even
when I
deleted
tie
in the
that
Twitch
too.
Twitch
Anyways, Private
dashboard.
wishes that none of this ever happened, thus rewinding the day and starting up a timeline where wishes weren't made. It's my theory that somehow the Sky Gods tie into this magic, and it's also my theory that if the Penguins of Madagascar is a parallel universe, then it has something to do with all of this rewriting history. Now, it's also possible that
I
this was
saw
all
it.
Private's mind after being
And it
concussed
probably
early in
went
the
across
episode,
the
but then it
screen
wouldn't
too, which means
necessarily
it's
account for many
archived
of the
on stream.
perspectives of various characters in the episode. Kowalski also mentions this
I said
obvious
nothing of the
cop-out,
sort.
and then
You
they
are
have the
lying.
obligatory, but maybe it was real at the end, thus ambiguity. Mort
I
later
can.
talks
It
about
shows in the
Steve,
dashboard,
the
Barry.
spirit who knows if you've been bad or good. Mort then gets the creepy voice he has in All Hail King Julian, and he says,
That's creepy.
as he
I
looks
have a
around
screenshot
suspiciously and
right
slowly
here.
hides away.
We're gonna put it on the stream, Barry. You thought you would escape? Did you really think I wouldn't see? Screenshots. Barry. Barry. Did you think I wouldn't see it? Hmm? Did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you think I wasn't prepared? You thought. You thought you would get away with it. It didn't work so well, did it? One of the reasons I believe
Mort
Barry is
introduces
gayer
Julian
than
to April
Gabby.
Fool's Day, which is a huge
He
coincidence
might be.
considering my circumstances when starting all of this. And Julian
Barry
wrote
said
around
nothing, it
pranking
was
everyone
her.
when the pranks turn on him. Julian
It's
threatens to
in the
threaten
Twitch
everyone using
dashboard.
Steve,
I can see
which
it.
Mort pops up again at the very end of the episode.
HTML editing and slander. Oh, you
I
wish.
almost completely brushed over the
You
episode.
wish,
The
Barry.
penguin stays in the picture
Except it's
because it was
probably
misplaced
archived in the
season,
stream
in it,
encoder
crucial
too.
things occur. A photographer comes to the zoo and loves
What's
Mort's
funny is that
cuteness
Barry
over
Sim
privates.
automatically found
Private
himself a
wants revenge.
girlfriend.
He asks some other animals to deal with it, and later thinks he's accidentally had Mort assassinated. So he's full of regret,
Spirit Mort.
especially when he starts seeing Mort's ghost everywhere. Only Private sees Mort, probably due to his guilt, or because it's not really Mort. But it has his personality nailed down, and the ghost describes itself as intangible and translucent. He violates Julian's feet as a ghost. Mort starts mocking and teasing Private. He threatens to haunt him. Very evil. Mort's ghost triplicates and starts harassing Private non-stop.
He picks up a solid popsicle and tries eating it, so he can be tangible. I just spent a while discussing ghost tangibility and dimensional anomalies with my SpongeBob theory on the Flying Dutchman in preparation for this sort of thing, but I'm at a loss for words right now. Nothing can prepare me. This sick entity is always one step ahead. We later learn that Mort was not killed, but kidnapped, just temporarily.
Oh.
The ghost was a figment of Private's imagination. Ha!
Whose
I knew
hand is
it.
that?
Mort is later seen
Wait,
drawing highly
Finbo,
abstract
go to
art,
bed?
as well as that
I'm
fact
not.
that he
I'm fine.
picked up
I've only been
some
streaming
kind of
2.5
ghost, and,
hours.
well, we know how Mort operates.
I'll be fine,
He has a
Winnie. I
multitude of
promise.
spirits within his
It's
mind.
1:30.
Currently my running theory that he's an alien
Come
from a
back to
parallel
bed.
universe, and perhaps that
Or
This
private.
is the said parallel universe, hence the timeline malfunction.
How
With
long
all
is
of
the
that
next
recap and
video?
presentation
17
will
minutes?
come
I want to
in
at least get
theory
through the next
segment.
video.
I believe the animation style difference is similar to the rationale had in
Clearly
the
still in the
three-dimensional
closet and
world
trying to
behind the
deny what
wardrobe
he
during
is.
exile, in that it, denotes a variable multiverse.
Yep, Barry
It's possible
probably
Mort
is.
keeps absorbing and reliving lives in different manners, like this one at the zoo, and it once again supports my theory that the entire Madagascar, or DreamWorks even canon, is a multiverse of Mort's own imagination. Again, this is something I will try compartmentalizing into the theory videos, but these might be onto something. He's a haunted entity, a poltergeist of infinitely many malicious souls. His goal seems to be to dominate the world and be beloved by all, so he can rule unmatched.
Also,
He is
Barry,
the
I
star
can prove it's
attraction
not
of the central-
HTML editing. Do you know how I can do that? I can go and do this, Barry. Do you know what that means, Barry? Where did it go? It's right here? Okay. So with HTML editing, what that means is that if you refresh the page, it goes away. So if I refresh and immediately scroll and show it, and I'll scroll off to the side. Mm-hmm. Barry, did you delete it? It was there. Infinite Ardens. Oh yeah, the fishbowl. Very fast and invisible HTML editing. You wish.
Park
Yeah,
Zoo in this
HTML
show,
editing
being
does go
considered
away
third
after you
nay,
refresh the
fourth nay,
page.
fifth wheel by his peers, but the cutest and most compelling attraction by the humans. It is deeply disturbing that the consistencies maintained in this show, which is not nearly as upfront about being weird and was made before the Netflix show. Oh, there's so much going on here. He's sacrificial in this show too. He drinks 20 times his own body's volume in water. Pocket universe. He can hold in urine for days. Mort finds a small basic.
Why is
handheld
Arden
video
streaming
game and never puts
stream?
it down,
'Cause I was
obsessing
trying to
more than
show-
feet.
Yeah, 'cause you
Julian wants
deleted
Mort's
it,
attention
Barry.
back, so Kowalski
You
steals
deleted
the
the
chip from
deletion.
game, as oddly it is extremely advanced.
The
This
good thing
devastates
is,
Mort, so he
Barry,
gets his cell
even
phone
with you
instead.
deleting
This
that,
episode wasn't showing up
it's
at first,
gonna
and I
be
don't
in
know
the
why.
stream.
Can't miss anything here.
Somebody's gonna go through
some
and
level
see
of pain,
it
though,
and
too.
prove it.
In another episode, he praised the Sky Gods for
Because
forgiveness for doing something.
even though you deleted it from chat, Barry, it being submitted in the first place, it has to register. Meaning it went to VTube Studio at the same time and showed on that going across. So you know how the text keeps going across behind me? It'll show there.
Can't remember doing. He
It's in the
asks if it was
stream.
because he
I
did
can't
something
edit
to
that.
Maurice's oatmeal. Julian compares Mort to a highly trained battalion with a thirst for mindless violence when proclaiming him as his personal bodyguard. Mort
It's there in
responds
one
by
form
saying,
or another,
"I
even
already
if Twitch
showed you
removed
the
it
Lily
from the
Hands
chat
there."
thing because it was a
Later,
deleted
in an event
message.
that with flair could be
It's
described
in
as
the
a sort of
stream.
universal
I
truth,
can't
it is
change
revealed
that.
Mort only loves Julian for his feet. Devastated, Mort cries at the heavens, screaming, "It's true!" And Julian, unfazed, says, "Well, duh." Spanish Mort surfaces for a split second and reveals intimate knowledge.
Barry
of
would never
Mexican
say that. He
I'm
absolutely
embellishing
would say
the
that.
hell out of all of this, but you heard it here first, so when you go watching to confirm it, you already have it set in your mind that Mort is an omnicidal misanthrope. It's true, he is, but it's also just a show. Dear God, I'm saying that as if I actually have to remind you of the fundamental nature of this to reel back your perception of my alleged insanity. In the Christmas special, Mort pulls a slobbery kazoo out of his nose, confirming again his pocket universality. The lemurs seem to think that they've been in France this whole time, so could it take place after film 3? It looks here like Mort is stabbed throughout his body.
What did Barry say though? He wanted to know how I
tasted
tasted or smelled.
If you assume
Was
that
one of the
every
two
ridiculous
things.
thing he says is
Let me
true,
check.
then what does this mean? When he's out shopping
Yeah,
for
he
a
wanted to know
Christmas
how I
tree, he
tasted.
finds a twig and says,
I know it's small and ugly, but if someone loved it, it could grow to be a beautiful swan, which is the true meaning of
Strange.
Chinese New Year.
something
This
tells me
stinky,
he's
stinky
subtly
fin boy.
referring to
I saw
himself,
that.
and how all he needs is attention so he can manifest his inner Cthulhu. He promptly proceeds to chop down the Rockefeller Christmas tree
I
with
saw
a
that,
fucking
Barry.
butter knife. Chaos incarnate. Mort knows
Barry
how
did
to
say
drive.
something it would
He
be
has human
only
experience.
kindness. Barry, if I go to my Twitch dashboard, is that going to show up? Look at you.
Fragmented,
I'ma
but
keep
he's
it open,
witnessed
though.
International history. Is he the evil seated within all humans? Increasingly, there's also really spur-of-the-moment self-referential humor within this show, similarly to the All Hail King Julian variety, but it's much less commonplace. More cautionary tales, though.
Barry won't escape
Julian
for
already
long.
knows Santa in this show, proving that this show is at least after,
Oh, the
timeline
Santa
divergence
movie, dude.
between the
I
short
remember
film Mary
that.
Madagascar
Wow.
and the second film. So is Santa a sky god? Are the gods aware of Lord Mortimer the Unchained over here? We still don't know. Julian abuses Mort's lack of a frictional coefficient by using him as
You can tell him that he doesn't wipe? What?
Favor by mistletoeing Julian's feet and
What are
reducing
you
the
talking
pain of
about,
his
Whitney?
hair. Mort also takes the piece of the angel at the top of the tree in the zoo. They're not even
Mort is
hiding
not
the
an angel.
supernatural hyperdimensional transcendence in this show either. Mort keeps attracting to the feet in his sleep
What was
by
that
swimming
noise?
to them in mid-air. At this
Join
point,
the
he doesn't
fox's
even
den.
hesitate to start walking after falling hundreds of feet. He always lands right side up. It's senseless. He abuses Julian's intermittent depression by taking the feet when Julian couldn't be cared to defend himself. Mort says he wants to be under 6 feet.
Ew,
Not
no,
dead,
Winnie.
Literally under 6.
Winnie, those
different
are lies,
feet.
bro.
Revolutionary.
That's
Mort
just
seemingly
straight
returns
slander,
for a
bro.
brief second. Mort
Bro.
keeps going into people's mouths. And
That's
knows
awful,
Taekwondo.
no.
Continuity. Mort is stellar offense. We also see
Yeah, true,
continuity
you
when
did
we
say
witness
that
Mort
earlier
wearing
in
a
stream
laundry
multiple
and a coconut bra, an
times.
outfit very similar to the
I'm surprised I
sorcerer's
haven't
show that
yawned
shall not be
since.
named. A new lemur named
I was
Clemson,
yawning
who
it a
sounds sort of
lot.
like Crimson, is placed in the zoo, and immediately he
The
starts
Mort is
to see
making
Mort's
Arden
knee upon
hallucinate?
assuming Mort is a
Nope.
king. Mort gets deeply unsettled by this. Clemson realizes Julian is king and soon replaces the job of Mort and Maurice. Mort whispers with a sinister growl, "He's evil." Mort seems more aware of omniversal damnation since All Hail King Julian, and he can sense the wrongness ever since his internal reawakening. Turns out he's right. I also have to look into Skipper's past sometime. He's been in a variety of wars that
Oh,
his pals
Skipper.
cannot.
Goodness,
Delusion
dude, Skipper's
reincarnation.
interesting, too.
I absolutely swear to you, I make all of these videos on autopilot. I shut off at least half my brain and just exist when typing this all out. I legitimately abuse my own frequent derealization to increase productivity. You're welcome. We see the sky gods not fully working.
Well, that
outside
explains how he can
Madagascar
yap
again.
so
The lemurs
fast.
engage
Dang.
in superstitious behavior. Julian says, "Yes, Mort, kick me harder." Mort flattens like a squeaky toy and tries
What?
crawling through the ventilation system to see where the air lives. Private goes on a Shakespearean tirade and calls the lemurs little leather-jerking, crystal button, agate ring, puke-stalking, caddis garter Spanish pouches. Private doesn't know what that means, and Mort screams
Okay.
that it's true and then says, "I think." They fire him from a cannon. Mort's tail has a mind of its own, and it's named Rodney. Has he banished one of the souls there? Who knows? The penguins need him to infiltrate a rat colony,
Very, very
so they shave
strange.
his tail and tell him to be a rat. He suddenly completely acts like one, indicating perhaps he's had the role of other sorts of animals in his lifetime, a multi-faced god. He has a huge red line on the skin of his tail, and he's about to explain it, but Julian cuts him off with jealousy over what he thinks is a birthmark. Later, the rats ask about it, and he gets cut off again.
He's
They kidnap
It's
Mort
like,
when
are
he's
you for real,
discovered,
for
and then
real?
he rises the ranks past even the mutated giant rat and becomes their evil king. Apparently the red mark is sacred
him
and
harder.
legendary among the rats. Julian loses it and demands he be seen as the original ringtail.
Wild.
Something clicked in Mort after the penguins sent him in, and he's been stuck brainwashed as a rat ever since. He accidentally forces the rats to invade the zoo when they otherwise would not have. I believe years ago he absorbed the legendary god of rats into his mind. It comes naturally to him and he screams invasion. Maybe it's revolutionary Mort again. I don't know how he would have absorbed a rat, but remember it's possible he did it to a bear once, and when the feet are used against him, Mort intentionally turns them down, saying, rats don't like feet. Turns out it's just strawberry jelly on his tail. They then take the fake rat nose off of him and he instantly snaps out of it, similarly to the instantaneous personality shifts in All Hail King Julian. This here feels more like the time he was pretending to be a tycoon, though. They ask him to be a penguin, and he does that without hesitation too. He's also joking, though,
Wild.
it would seem. Mort fails to be cute when he actually tries. When Skipper becomes a king for a day, Mort goes after his feet, appreciating their webbing. This implies Mort's fixation with
Is that
feet lies
Mort?
in their association with royalty.
He's looking
which is
through a
crucial
camera
as
or
a
something.
subservience thing. The penguins have a 12-floor maximum security facility beneath their zoo habitat. It's like 12 separate Area 51s to the center of the earth, basically. There are Lovecraft abominations down there. Makes sense why they're so intent on hiding.
Oh, that's not Mort.
Are all these zoo animals famous military commanders?
So why are you
who
trying to
created
find out
legally?
Mort's a
Makes
chipmunk?
sense considering their cognitive
I don't know
divergences
what
from
Mort is,
birth.
dude.
Maybe
Demon
Mort is their
alien's part
eldritch
of it.
facilitator who's causing this. The hell for his governmental captors. It could be,
Has to
after
be.
all, it's his story. Mort
Funny
calls
how
Skipper
Arden
crazy.
also forgets
Mort
that I
then
sexually
uses a
harassed
high-tech
Pippi's
subatomic
femboy mod.
weapon to create a cotton candy hurricane.
Do you
Penguins
know?
have seemingly met the Grim Reaper. Mort fears being punched for once.
I'm going to be going
He
to
hates
bed
other
and Mort's
cute
going to be in
animals.
our
The penguins
dreams.
say Mort was a wolf
Genuinely.
in sheep's clothing. Thank God I'm not alone. After being transferred to a horrible petting zoo, he plans to bite all of the children. His bite is OP. He
What?
climbs and teleports in service of acting as an ergonomically acute cushion. Mort absorbs gases. Hoboken, New Jersey is considered this show's equivalent of hell, and they claim that farts might actually improve its air quality. Boom roasted. Mort gets a sensual moment reminiscent of the other show. The penguins expect Maurice to kill Julian any day now. We meet a sort of fake ghost Alex the Lion, and I'm not sure how much of this confirms the timeline or not. Mort miraculously knows all of the penguins' secret codes and passwords, but not in a consistent way. He's in tune with the collective unconscious of the quantum field. A bizarre scientific
Barry, did you
phenomenon
delete
causes
another
everyone,
message?
including Mort, to break into song. He finds it creepy and unnatural. So do I, considering nothing should affect him for many reasons. In another episode,
You
Mort
did
eats
delete
everything in a vending
one.
machine. Pocket Universe Tummy. And again, Kowalski's science
Aha,
can overlap hard with this
I
whole
caught
magic
you.
world we got going on here. And oh,
And you can't even
my
try the
God.
HTML defense
So
here.
anyways, we know Mort is strong, but later King Julian's
Gotcha.
rear will be smacked unless Mort can throw a mango pit across the zoo. We know he can, but he intentionally flubs it. Ergo,
I'm
he's
not
into that
blind.
real freaky
I
shit.
got peripheral
Next up is
vision.
some vengeful herd mentality commentary, and then Mort survives an exploding missile. One of Mort's teeth is as
Watch
large
all
as
these
his entire
videos in a
mouth.
row and
Julian
Mort starts
briefly
to actually
succumbs to
control
loving Mort.
you.
Evil aliens threaten Earth and are destroyed by duplicating Jello cubes. This is not new
Okay, so that confirms aliens are a thing in here.
news, considering the
Like an
tentacle
actual
aliens
one.
from the other show. There's a season 2 episode named Alienated that involves a pretty freaky plot, but I couldn't find it anywhere. From what I understand, Mort demonstrates a little bit of his power there too, but on to the final season. Mort calls his tail Rodney again. Mort bullies Private. Mort dismisses everyone
That
as
was freaky.
unimportant if they aren't within the royal circle. Maybe that's why he's so obsessed. Mort angrily raps about attacking things with coat hangers. A baby Fusa enters the zoo, and Mort wants to rip out
Barry
his eyes.
can't leave his
Julian
words up
calls
as an
for
immortal,
elephant's
eternal
butt and
statements
out
of
its
the
mouth.
soul. Well,
Julian
it's
has a
too
nervous
damn
breakdown
bad that
in
I
the
got him
next
on
episode.
stream and
Julian calls
screenshot.
Rico fat. Obviously, I mean he's a pocket universe. Mort
can't
calls
escape
baby
the
Fusa
truth.
a booty eater. Damn. Mort breaks faces and creepily relishes in it. He climbs in the sewer and laughs like the bride of Chucky. Mort blows up on dynamite. He has hella petty cash. The news thinks Mort and Maurice are furry children. Mort plays in a dog's mouth. Kowalski has experience as a high-strung mother. Mort finally has a bizarre romantic all-hail King Julian moment with a sock as he walks away romantically and says, "Don't be a stranger." We're getting closer to the inception of that show, so I'm not entirely surprised. Mort
Wild.
is a walking, talking confirmation bias. The cavalier, iconic humor is also in full effect now, such as when Julian pops by and casually says, "Hey neighbor, I'm here for a cup of money." There are weird things too, like red herring Morse code sprinkled around a toy store. Mort fears sacrifice when there are
What?
real stakes for some reason. Mort and the gang burp to save the world. Long story. More Mort licking. Ladies love
Okay.
him. Now
He's
we're midway
gonna
through
try in the most
last
bottomy
chunk
way
and-
possible.
oh,
What do you mean?
half the season is missing. You see, I paid $90 to YouTube just to get all these episodes, and I didn't even get my money's worth. Just as the show was getting really good too. Nowhere else has these missing episodes either, so now I'm at a severe disadvantage. In addition to Season 2's Alien episode, we're missing Feline Fervor, King Me, The Otter Woman, Action Reaction, Thumb Drive,
Excuse me.
Private in the Winky Factory, Mental Hen, and Skipper Makes Perfect. Then, we're also missing the entirety of the show's 7-episode-long reboot finale from Nicktoons containing Operation Swampanzee, Snowmageddon, Tunnel of Love,
That's a lot of
Operation
missing
Unicorn
episodes.
Apocalypse, The Penguin Who Loved Me, Best Foes, and finally, Night of the Vesuviuses. Comment if I missed any supernatural moments or Mort moments that you deem crucial at your own discretion. If I can find the missing 16 episodes, I will speed recap them at the beginning of the next part to this journey. The good part,
Interesting.
the theories. This is when things will get really creepy, and it's when I will take all of these
Oh,
little
boy.
comments and ideas I've been throwing about and unify them. I think that whatever happened to Mort in the credits of the Penguins film seriously screwed his mind and the timeline, but how do you fragment the fragmented? That is the question. Things are going to move very fast now, so you'd better subscribe. There's a lot coming in a
Well, I guess
very
you could
short amount of
shatter
time.
it.
Can anyone
Or
truly
put
be
it back
ready for
together.
No. The only reason I can do this is because every single time I look in a direction that has crucial information, I don't know what I'm stumbling into. It's literally the equivalent of you viewers screaming, "Don't open that door," and I swing it wide open anyways, oblivious to the fact that it was Pandora's box and I've been sucked inside, replacing the horrors that were once locked away. I've been preparing for this. I'm interdisciplinary and unemotional. Mort is a fictional character. Anything that comes at me is a monster of my own creation for the entertainment of, let's face it, myself.
Oh, this is the end of... Okay, this next one is the last of the Mort stuff. Everything else is like Shrek.
This is part 6 of my Madagascar Mort dissertation. Yes.
Oh, no,
we're
there's some Mort
finally
down
onto
here.
The actual theory segments. Make
Look
sure you
at
watch
that.
my 2 hours worth of evidence first. I'll link the playlist
There's a
now.
recap.
Watch it.
One,
None of this
two,
will make sense otherwise. Last time we dissected the
3.
Penguins of Madagascar TV show, but some of the final episodes were missing.
4.
By some absolute miracle, the missing episodes have spontaneously returned.
Okay,
on
there's
Amazon
4
Prime.
other
Have
videos,
a
so
very
we're
bad
actually
track
halfway
record
through
with
all the
torrenting, so I
Mort
was
stuff.
still worried for a second there. Now, I will do as promised and quickly speed recap what is necessary.
Or over halfway.
An alienated, one of those creepy aliens
So that's
comes
good.
to Earth and uses goop to paralyze Mort, but Mort can still speak, which could or could not be seen as a testament to his power. He later snaps into Bloodhound mode to find the feat, which the Penguins call
Bloodhound
Sixth
Mort?
Sense.
Okay.
Semi-continuity. He
Yikes.
gets hurt as usual and not much else. I mean, he's flattened with a mace and then electrocuted into hating the feat, but that was all I missed?
Surely not, right?
I swear if Mort doesn't get his
All of the
Latin
videos are
death
important, you just
Diazire
watch
ass
them
name
all.
having smaller than a breadbox primate ass order posing
Aw.
amnesic East African quantum entangled elder god bitch ass off my metaphysical line.
He's losing his shit with Mort. No skipping. Alright, I won't. Did
Hello,
I hear
I'm
feet?
the theorizer and I've solved Mort. It took me months of dormant subconscious thought, but I have. He unlocks all of DreamWorks like a skeleton key to every other theory I've ever made. Things are getting more and more complicated, but easier to parse through, so we'll see how long this all ends
You'll
up
be
being.
very confused
Time
if
for
you
the
do.
analysis. What was our
enough.
plan again? Oh yeah, Julian feat, 11 ex-wives, anomalous genome. Well, a lot of that was indeed solidified in this series. Most of my thoughts were haphazardly scattered throughout my evidence videos, but here's where we
my contact's
recap and
messing with me.
determine what is relevant. This might get rough. So I'm
Might have to head
relying
to
on
bed
the
now. You
comments
all
to
have a good
poke
night. Have a good
holes
night,
or
Albert.
remind me of things.
We
I
probably
also
won't be
didn't
too
note
much
or
longer
see
on here.
every detail
Yeah,
in the
15
paintings of
more
Madagascar,
minutes.
so yes, the comments are there for a reason.
15 more minutes, and then we'll find
The
somebody
best
to
way
rate
go
out
about
to.
explaining everything is simply by discussing Mort's past. We know a little bit about what he is and his past, but plenty can be stably inferred as well. We see him
Never
and a female
ask Mort
counterpart
Craft
in
the
the
name of
history
his
books
cat.
of Madagascar, but that was stated as unreliable. What we know for certain is that he has a grandmother and a grandfather who raised him and some other siblings, but I'm not sure how. You see, his timeline loops back in on itself, possibly as a byproduct of his escape from the multiverse. Okay, so I just took it from 0 to 100. Reel it back. He's claimed his father was a bear, yet he also was his own grandfather, and we get no information on
Wild.
his mother. As you can understand, this is all senseless. If his father was a bear, then his mother must at least be of the Mort species, meaning her parents must be Granny and Grandpa Mort. I'm not sure if this means Mort is his
Do we
own
gotta stop
true
the stream?
maternal
What do
grandfather,
you mean?
or if it means Mort
No,
fathered a
we'll be
bear.
done.
If the latter,
We'll
then
be
he
done
must
with
have at
this in
least
like
been with a
15
bear
minutes,
to
and then
produce a
I'll rate
bear,
out to
right?
somebody.
Can Mort just birth
Don't let
anything?
Mort
Well,
get you in your
there's
sleep.
another
Oh my
simple
goodness.
explanation that resolves all
He
of
might
these
at this
intricate
rate.
paradoxes and
Goodness.
still makes sense. If you've seen my videos, you know
It was
his
just 15
history
minutes.
dates
I'll
back a
stay.
lot further
Might
than
just
the 50
accidentally
years
fall
he
asleep
spent
during
with
the.
this
All
family.
good. No
He's
worries.
a conqueror
Up
of
to
the
you.
multiverse, nearly limitless in power. He can do anything.
Mort,
Now it's
the
time
immortal
to take it up
and
a few
powerful.
notches. The only answer here is that this is not his family in a usual sense, or rather that it is,
Goodness,
but
I
only
need
because
to-
he will.
I need to fix all my
The only way
alerts
for
and stuff
him to be
tomorrow.
his own
I'm gonna have to go
grandfather
through
when
and
it's
reset
impossible
that.
is if it's in a seriously
I'm doing a
atypical
Kodak
way.
tomorrow
He's
for
existed
some,
long beforehand as well, and he's all
I'll
powerful.
go and pause here real quick because he's about to be done with that intro. What was it? We are going to be playing tomorrow, just so I'll let you guys are aware. What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? It's Super something Golf. Oh, Super Battle Golf is what we'll be doing tomorrow.
So
But we
what
will
I
be
mean is simply
we'll finish this video and
He
then we'll
must have
raid it out.
spontaneously generated this entire family and then birthed himself into it as a reincarnation without his memory. Hence, in a way, he is his own grandfather, semi-genetically on both sides.
But yeah, I gotta
no
fix my
wonder
stuff
his
before
granny
that.
is so eerily sensual with him. So why? What led him to need this
Terrifying.
fake family for 50 years? Why and how did he erase his own memory?
Whew.
What is his true history? Because we know it's there. And well, to answer that question, we must look to Smart Mort
Ab
and
rollers.
Mordecus Khan. Smart Mort
Wait
is
a
interesting because first
second.
of all, he knows everything. Most notably, he knows the heavenly fruits, the presumed
That's
sky gods.
not a
He is
reading,
highly
Winnie.
acquainted with Mort and has been with him for
You
a very
faker.
long time. And in essence, he functions
100
as the
ab
preservation
rolls?
of Mort's
That's
true
not
memory.
even on the
He's a
list.
separate soul in the show, but perhaps he could
I have
be
10,886
original Mort, like the one who
points.
decided
Oh
to
dear.
reincarnate himself. There seems to be
I'll
signs
have
that
I'll have
Mordecus
to use
knew Mort
those
from
in
before, such as
between
when he
rounds
claims
tomorrow.
He's been waiting eons for him or something. When
If
it
I
had
get
only
everything
been
set
like
back
one
up.
season since they'd last seen each other. If this is the case, would Smart Mort be the one Mordecus is
Smart
familiar
Mort
with?
is back.
When confronted with Mordecus, Smart Mort dips out immediately. As for our usual Mort, post-rebirth, he sort of acts like a blank slate. He was wiped clean, and with time, has gained his own soul. A personality built from the family that
My back
surrounded him,
hurts.
mixed with the subtle echoes of everyone he's absorbed. Smart Mort is
Specifically,
the one
like, at
who
my shoulders.
remembers.
Ow.
He has the knowledge of humanity, of the universe, of the fringes of reality and beyond.
Ugh.
How is any of this power possible? What even is Mort?
Communist Mort
They
is
say
back.
Mort is a species, but that's not true. Mort does not follow the laws of any sort of species. He's just a sort of entity with varying forms, a multi-faced god. Remember when I said he was Kirby? The entire inner world where he keeps
Squats
his
10.
absorbed breath
That's
in
not
isn't
one
even
yet
inside his
either.
head
I'll try to add
necessarily,
that
it's
one.
just him. Remember all of the evidence for him having a pocket universe inside of himself?
That
that
one's
thing's
tied
under
up.
his stomach and they just keep going.
My tummy is speaking to me.
Uh-huh.
Told you. Even the films are undeniable. He's a formless entity that looks like a mouse lemur. We've seen inconsistent X-rays, completely abstract genealogy, everything. At some point, maybe to evade suspicion,
Has definitely
he
been rough on the
took
brain. Yes,
that
it has.
Form. So if Mort's are not a species with any sort of consistency, then how the hell does that universe full of Morts, the Mortverse, even exist? Who are they? There's no
Who
female
knows?
Morts there, and yet we saw the female Mort in the Adam and Eve. It's like, not a species. And notice something odd. They're not like the other Morts. They are all perfect clones of one another. They are not variable here. They are all identical. They all come from the same origin. A similar thing
Do 10
occurs for
Archer
all Morts
push-ups.
everywhere else too,
But is that an actual
it's all their
reading?
appearance. All the Morts have
It's
the
not
same
an actual
base
reading,
model.
though.
Mouse lemurs have varying
It's
shapes
gotta
and
be a
sizes, but
real
every
reading,
single Mort
guys.
we
You
see
know
in the
that.
show is the exact same.
You thought you were
Parallel
gonna get me
universe
again, didn't you,
variations can
Albert?
Sometimes act different, but they all look the
You
same
little
still.
sneak. You thought you were gonna get me again, didn't you? I'm not trying to make you bark this time. Liar. You liar.
Bizarre part, though,
Liar,
is that all
liar,
of the
pants on
Mortverse
fire.
Morts act identical too, like they originated from a controlled single entity. All Morts function as if they came from a single entity, but the
You
Mort
thought.
Horde even more so. It's almost like everything originated from a single Mort, but then offshoots like Smart Mort and Mordicus function as individuals, and when someone like Mordicus tries splitting himself deeper, he just gets mindless drones. It's absolutely insane, but it's actually a lot more stable to assume all of these Morts just have some origin that is the same than to try and comprehend the logistics and inconsistencies of Granny Mort and Grandpa Mort not being
No, I was
from
being
a
genuine
parallel
this time.
universe, or Mordicus having brainwashed thousands
I
of
don't know
beings of
about
equal
that.
intellect. Everything comes from a singularity and is dispersed. Even more realistically, Mort is a character from
Escape to
Madagascar, and
Africa.
every other Mort we see is just another Mort character to us. It just so happens to also literally be like that. My point, Mordicus could very well
Barry's
not just be
trying.
some random entity,
Good
but
luck,
could
Barry.
actually be from Mort. When you try and disperse
I've started
disperse,
reading it
say,
before
like
I
splitting
speak again.
Mordicus, you would get even more mindless clones, which could be the reason for the Horde's existence. And if Mordicus is from Mort, he has history. The eons he referenced, the wars. He is implied to be the reason our Mort was beaten into reincarnated submission. The original Mort being started looking like a mouse lemur, probably to hide from the sky gods or from being tethered by the sky gods or something like that, and after he did, Mordicus and a number of other Morts were fractured off of him. I actually am getting more inclined to say that this was all on purpose, and that the sky gods or some other body of forces toppled Mort into a physical, pathetic form. The question is, why would he want to split himself further, and how did he reside in several universes? The answer is that this isn't his fault. The anti-Mort forces split him infinitely across the multiverse, and his journey to absorb his other selves is actually a journey to reabsorb them all. Damn. No species.
He thinks the Fox Boy got his sleep last night. I did. I took two melatonin.
Singularity. I'd say the original Mort posed a threat,
Oh.
just his being.
That's a good
It was
point.
probably either Smart Mort or Mordicus who was the first piece to be chipped away, hence their sheer power. Mordicus is taking the reabsorption into his own hands and actively dueling other advanced Morts so he can maintain the title as dominant consciousness and wage war on the Sky Gods. And he was getting close. These gods are the pantheon of supernatural forces that control everything. They appear as fruits to the Madagascar lemurs because it's a form they can comprehend. In actuality, they span the multiverse, maintaining and governing everything. They hang around Madagascar because that's where most of the action is happening. The biggest threat at the time is Mort, who over the course of all hail
You know, some of these
begins
series were
to wake
confirmed
up.
by the
Smart Morts
showrunner
seem somewhat
Anita.
aligned with the Sky Gods, and they don't appear to feel
You
too threatened at this
almost-
present time, but
almost.
they do just keep monitoring. Mordicus was clearly the primary threat. Whether it was them who eliminated Mort to
Nice try.
immediately form on Madagascar or Mort himself who
Intact,
did it,
pay
I'm
attention,
not
fair.
entirely sure, but it's becoming apparent that he enjoys it. Mordicus is the rogue one. Smart Mort is the sane one. Mordicus wants Smart Mort.
I did pick up on that. Smart Mort was definitely the most sane by far. Yes, I am excited for tomorrow. It'll be very fun. We're going to be doing Super Battle Golf, which I have seen clips of, so I'm looking forward to it.
I repeat, Smart Mort vanished the instant he went into Mordicus's realm. Mort's seed is planted in every universe. We need to see this original being. The original Mort is the whole Mort. I'm not sure we do
It's just
ever
been
meet
that
him,
taxing.
really. He
Yeah.
is a formless void, extant on all planes of reality. As we've established countless times, his name is Latin for death. And I might even be inclined to say, based on these descriptions, that
I can have it started, right?
he is death. He's death. He's death. He has a thing for zombies because they are the ones that got away. He's death. I can have his body, right? He's death. He's death. He's death.
Brother
He's
is
death.
having a
His name is
schizo
Death,
breakdown.
or he is Mort, the lemur. He's death. He is not an entirely benevolent death. And
Brother
what
is
exactly he
breaking
does
down.
after reaping souls.
Yep, with some
I
friends.
do not know, but oh my god. Oh my god, that's it. That's it. He absorbs souls because he is death. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. In episode 1, this has been freaking staring me in the face. In episode 1, I said he could reap my consciousness from my body.
Brother's
Oh my
losing
god,
it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just realized that. I was literally even using the same word choices back then, and I didn't even know what I was talking about. He literally is reaping.
Wild.
Okay, now I'm back into this. Let's go to that wardrobe now. It's a sort of portal to Mort's true self. Not really, but it's like a metaphor for him being in a higher dimension projecting into our plane, whether he created everything or not. Remember, it doesn't matter. Same difference. The scene could be even in his head, of course, but all of that would show is that deep down, he has a direct escape, and it spawns whenever he feels most panicked and alone. We are so many layers into this. Splitting this into 3 separate theories seems pointless now. His genome? He doesn't have a genome, you fools. He can do anything. What about the feet, then? Is it really a servitude-based obsession? He claims his home is a foot constellation known as Footocus Majora, so does he love feet because they remind him of home, or does he choose to live there because it was shaped like a foot? We did discuss his subservience being the cause before, as opposed to the feet themselves. He's a 14 billion-year-old elder god who can enter nightmares and has lived the life of every possible kind of person, but the feet. It must have to do with his
Always
tethering
the feet with
limitations.
Mort.
No extant being would be weak like this. Perhaps such a small animal is just destined to be at the feet of everyone around him, and the sky gods know this. It's why Mordecai said he had to break from the feet. This was before everything. They all split from the same being who has a foot obsession. The trauma from such a blow, losing all of his power, is also his weakness. The feet make him weak, as he sings. Literally. And he's somehow
Yikes,
finding
okay.
peace in servitude, giving his life meaning after an infinite existence of having.
Bro, what is going on?
I need to know more about the sky gods or whomever else tethered Mort. He is known by humanity too, you see. The scientists, they want him, they study him, he is a target. He claims they've been unable to classify him, but that's where these grand theories are headed. That's not crucial to where we are right now. Mort has spanned everything. His inner world is an evil mansion. His more abrasive personalities show how vengeful and wrathful he can be in times of war, much to my horror. Todd has similar reactions when placed in attack mode, almost like there's a similar supernatural hypnosis in place to subdue Mort. He steals life so he can rebirth it into himself. He defaults to villainy every time, and many sides of him are appeased when sacrifices are sent his way. He has legions of followers who devour his cuteness,
that's
which is
an actual
exactly what he wants.
I think that
you
is.
are all the goldfish beneath the angler's lamp. You have fallen victim to a true power, one who is not limited by the psychology of personality and is
Oh, that
everything.
is an actual reading.
Fragmentation can't stop this. In short,
10 archer
Mort is
push-ups,
an
huh?
omnipotent Lovecraftian demon
Alrighty.
that has existed since the beginning of
We'll
time.
have to do it at the end
His
of this, 'cause
malicious
I don't wanna miss
presence was a
something.
threat to existence, so he was bound to a limited form and scattered across the multiverse by the gods. Factions of his mind have since begun the process of resorbing themselves, resulting in beings such as Mordecai Khan and whatever our Mort was before his reincarnation. A few thousand years ago, he was destined to face off against Mordecai Khan in a battle for the controlling mind, and as a last-ditch effort to
Interesting.
preserve his knowledge, yes, he erased his superficial memory and birthed himself into a family of clones 50 years old. Since then, he has now absorbed Mordecus, and the gods are watching, waiting, for the day they will
This
have
just
to
gets so
intervene.
weird,
Mort doesn't
dude.
seem too agitated at his current position, though. He's learned to find meaning in mundanity. But the gods aren't the only ones keeping tabs. There's that consistent thread
Oh,
through
yeah.
all of these theories that I've only
She's a
ever
thing.
hinted to, and surprisingly, we don't need those other 2 theory videos for Mort. I did it all here. Or at least everything I could recall. It is so insane, but it's still straightforward, and now, the next step for all of you is to watch the theories I've always said will come next. Mort ties into a number of other films, and I have already uploaded these theories. They touch upon areas that he will eventually tie into. They may seem unrelated, but I assure you, they are not. They are all even more sound than this one, so following this video in the playlist, I will have the next several theories. I'll link it in the outro, or click the eye in the top corner again. They're honestly awesome to watch even outside of the necessity they assert for the next phase
That's
of Mort
fake.
theories,
This
wherein
one's
he will
real.
transition
That's
the
fake.
situation into the ultimate purpose of this dissertation, a purpose that will become abundantly clear after viewing the Shrek and Over the Hedge theories. A DreamWorks timeline. If I missed any
so
other
that's
supernatural
why
or
those
relevant
are
factors,
important.
comment
Okay.
them below. I might still fill that extra video slot in the event that I forgot major factors at play. If I can be reminded of more important things in the comments below, please do it. Also subscribe, of course, hit the bell too. It's important before we
10
move on to
archer
this
push-ups,
ultimatum.
it
Mort
says.
is crazy. Mort is
Yeah,
amazing.
Mort is
Everything
crazy.
is his will. His subconscious is multi-dimensional. Everything he desires comes true because he is. Because it is, in fact, forever the case that no matter what it is he's believing, Mort's dream works.
2, 3. We're out. Pause that before it goes off to the next one. Hold on. It's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Whew. The Fox button. For some reason, I can't find the button on mobile. Barry, what message did you delete? Arden Pants, really? It's currently nighttime. Mort ripped my skin off. Help me. I'm very sorry for you, Saku. Arm out weights. Oh no. Oh man. And Grigori did 10 push-ups. No. I'm getting hit with all of them now. Oh man. Yeah, they make the Fox run out of breath button. Help me. I can't help you, Saku. I'm so sorry. Oh goodness. Alright, 10 push-ups. Let's do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then arm out weights. There is no redeem from me, Dressberry, and I will never do it. You think you can get me to? It will never happen. Arm out weights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 13 archer push-ups. Oh my gosh. I physically can't right now. Oh my goodness. That is not a real redeem, however. I think you guys might have just got hit by ads. Hold on, let me check. The never-ending fox. oh, okay, it recently ran. Okay. Ooh. Let me kind of see what's going on. Oh, Banehammer is live. I'll raid out to him. Alright, let me try and do those 10 archer push-ups real quick, and we'll raid out to Banhammer. Oh my word. 1, 2, fix my headphones. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. Ah, got one more. 10. Okay. And a stress redeem. Oh my goodness. Get on all fours and bark fours, not happening. Alright, we are starting the raid out to Banhammer. Oh my word. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, he just finished? Dang it. Did he really? Ah, crap. Okay, we'll find somebody else then. Let's see. Ooh. Why is my bitrate unstable? Okay. Dang. That's unfortunate. I just missed him. Hydrate. Good point. Time for more Mort. Not tonight. I do need to sleep eventually. Ooh. Goodbye to see you, Ryan. Hey, Kieran. We're about to raid out on Twitch. I was trying to find somebody to raid out to. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're suggesting someone. Yeah, let me look him up. Orion? I think I see him. They're playing Donkey Kong, and two different names. And Z Hello. Hold on. No, okay, it's just Psy Orion. They're playing Donkey Kong 64, right? Kieran? The Smart Arden, how's it going? I love the Breezy Fox. Of course, YouTube. Yep. Let me click on it. Let's see. Can I copy the link? That person. Okay, it is already. Yep, we will raid out to them in that case, since you know I'm Kieran.
Whistle thing.
Ooh.
Comedy whistle.
Alrighty, I will
Zap,
see everybody.
zap.
Have a good night. I appreciate everybody coming by. We will have another stream on this sometime soon. See ya.
You to look up since the fan community ported a PC with a modded version. Okay, what is it? I mean, I might even prefer just if I can pick up the physical version somehow. That's not super expensive. Belch. Oh yeah, Legend of Dragoon. Severed Chains. Is that the name of the mod? Oh, that's a different duck. Hey, Arden Okira. How's it going? Thanks for joining me. What's this one? That's a raspberry. Fop raid. And yeah, how's it going, Kieran? Hope everyone's having a lovely evening. I'm Cy Ryan. Pigot Berry? Wow. That's a straight up. I'm amazed that Twitch allows you to have that username. But thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm Cy Ryan, and I like Donkey and Kong. Doing good. Just this Mort theory. What is that exactly? Yeah, Legend of anyway, what are you saying? Legend of Dragoon. I've heard good things about that one. All right, that one's this. Aha. All right, that one's here. I was incorrect. It's this one. Nope, it's this one.
Oh yeah, I need to end YouTube
Yeah,
stream
this
too.
one. More from Madagascar theories on what Mort actually even is. I think he's a cartoon character. It's not this one.